Hello, lovely listeners. Thank you for returning to No Small Roles. We are having an absolute blast recording lots of fabulous episodes for you. We're also learning new skills, for example, audio editing. And as you may or may not notice over the next few episodes or so, we will be battling with the various sound issues that choose to rear their ugly heads. However, we will continue to smite these troublesome foes for your listening pleasure. Talking of pleasure, this episode is quite a big one. Well, it's longer than future episodes will be. Not so surprisingly, getting a cast of 6 performance-starved actors together during lockdown to play a role-playing game resulted in a lot of roleplay. So let's get a wiggle on. David, over to you.
Hello and welcome to No Small Roles, a D&D podcast where there are no small roles because we're using massive dice. I'm David Knight. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm an actor, writer and composer. I'm going to be DMing this ridiculous troupe. We've actually already played a few sessions in smaller groups, but today we have a whole party of 5 players. Woo! Woo! So we've actually rolled initiative for introductions, so if you could each tell us a little bit about yourself and who you'll be playing.
So I wasted a natural 20 on my introduction role, so that's great. My name is Grace Kelly Miller. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing the character, I was about to say the role, yeah, sure, the role of Gwendellyn. She also uses female pronouns, and she is a half-orc monk.
Hi everyone, I am Ben Galpin. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Orryn Quill, who is a human... I forgot what he was. He's a human artificer. He also uses male pronouns.
Hi, I'm Darrel Bailey. I use he, him pronouns. I will be playing the role of Enkidu Kai, who also uses he, him pronouns, and he is a warlock.
I'm Vicky. I use she, her pronouns, and I will be playing Juna Septhorn, who also uses female pronouns, and she is a gnome sorcerer.
Oh, we got magic.
Hi there, I'm Chris Watts, and I use he, him pronouns. I am Gaius, or Guy to his friends, who is a human. Oh, no, he's not a human. He's not. He's a half-elf, and he is a bard.
Ooh.
Thanks very much, Vicky.
So, for anyone who doesn't know anything about D&D, first up, I'm very sorry that this might be your first experience, but don't worry, it's actually fairly straightforward. Saying nothing on my players, just I'm not always entirely up with the rules, so it might get confusing for you. Basically, Dungeons & Dragons is a communal storytelling game in which the Dungeon Master, or DM, that's me, acts as the narrator and any side characters, whilst the other players each control only one of the main characters. I'll tell them the situation, and then they tell me how their character reacts, and if they want to do something that's got a chance of failing, like trying to pick a lock or remembering a vital piece of information that might save the world, they roll a dice to see if they can succeed. It's like a mix of improvised acting and gambling, which is probably why it's so addictive. For those of you that know all of that stuff already, we'll actually be using the 5th edition rule set, incorporating a whole range of published material up to date, with some house rules thrown in.
Pathfinder.
Oh, Ben, are you using the wrong set? No, it's 5th edition, mate. 5th edition. Yeah, so we're going to throw in some house rules, and it's actually a homebrew setting, which I'll explain a bit after this. Cue the theme tune!
Prepare your party of players and polyhedral dice. Your tragic backstory better be worth the sacrifice. Seize your sheets and D20. Let's play D&D. Your haggard character swaggers with daggers in each hand. You've all discussed what you must, but even better laid plans. Take a turn when checks are missed.
Roll initiative. Brandish your blades. Don't fail your saves. No risk too great, no choice to roll. This is your sword.
who will pay the price. Their chance of success will rest upon the dice. No risk too great, no choice too bold. This is No Small Rolls.
Our game is set in the region of Eltimpir, which just over 1,000 years ago, the native population of orcs and humans were invaded by colonial elves, who established an empire built on meritocracy, promising that those who joined them had the chance to rise in the ranks should they be working hard enough. Those who fought back and didn't want to join in were pushed across the wounded sea and settled in Orkosh, where they still remain to this day and still hold the old shamanistic ways that they used to live. Any who were convinced of the elvish promises were integrated into the elvish settlements, raising families together, enjoying the gifts that the empire had to offer, but realization crept through the descendants that with the elves' extended lifespans, positions of power were rarely opened up, and even a human lifetime of hard work often amounted to nothing. This resulted in a revolution known as the Mortal Uprising, where humans, half-orcs and half-elves pushed the Elvish Empire back, splitting the main region into two countries, Aeland to the north and the Free Peoples to the south. Now, for a few years, the Free Peoples rejoiced in their autonomy, living hedonistic, unrestricted lifestyles, but this in itself led to chaos and civil wars until a gathering of leaders resulted in the signing of the Accords and the crowning of Rumath Tarabor, who was the first king in their new country of Drevane. Over the next 600 years, 3 other territories emerged. To the far north of the mainland, out of the deserts, came an invading force of mages who claimed Aelish cities and pronounced them part of Sulmarath. Off the southern coast of Drevane, the Woden Isles declared themselves a republic after years of being the dumping ground of Aelish and Dravanian petty criminals, and off the eastern coast of Aeland, the Mercerlands established themselves as a neutral archipelago, facilitating formal talks between the other endlessly skirmishing nations. Our story begins in Drevane, with one half of our party looking for a lost lover, and the others hoping to deliver a regretful letter to a doctor. On a cool early evening in spring, 3 travellers arrive in the town of Tillersham. It's a cosy settlement in the centre of the noble pastures of Drevane. Having had your food stolen on the road, you spot the welcoming sight of a tavern, the Nocking Point, and pass under its sign, which is an archer with his full bow at draw. Inside, it's surprisingly empty. There's a half-orc barkeep with his hair pulled back into a ponytail, full black beard, one of those traditional tavern keeper bellies under his apron. He's leaning dejectedly on the taps, idly stroking his beard, staring off into thin air. At your arrival, he shifts slightly, stands straighter, doing his best to look hospitable. He just says, well met, looking for a room?
Well, I'd love a warm drink if you have anything.
No, actually.
So you mean to say that you're a tavern with no drink?
That's the state of it as it stands, I'm afraid. Juna, Orryn and Enkidu, if you could just describe what you look like having stepped into this tavern.
So Juna is a just under 3 foot tall gnome, 200-year-old lady. She's very shriveled, walks sort of balancing on a staff with quite a big sort of gemstone at the top. Sort of a massive sort of frizzy grey hair on top of her head. And although she's quite old, she looks like she's not about to fall over. She's a sturdy old lady.
Enkidu is a 5'10" human with dark skin. He has dark brown eyes. He's quite a slim to athletic build. He's wearing a long black cloak, double-breasted, with a fur hood. He's got knee-high laced boots. He's got fingerless gloves, and he has a scimitar strapped to his back. He's about in his early 20s. I'm not sure exactly how old he is, but he's been travelling around without a home base for a while, so he's probably a bit rugged by this point.
Orryn is also similarly, he looks like he's probably around his early 20s, somewhere around there. He's quite short, human looking, about 5 foot tall or so. Got a slight build to him. He's got sort of dirty blonde, unkempt hair. He's wearing a leather kind of waistcoat / armour combo that seems to be strung with all sorts of tools and implements. There's a little hanger? Let's try that again. There's a little hammer hanging from his belt. Doesn't appear to be particularly armed, although he does have a short bow now on his back. Looking down towards his legs, he's got sort of a shin guard on his right leg, and his left leg, there's a carefully constructed sort of mechanical-looking brace.
So the tavern keeper, barkeep, he stands there, he's like, yeah, no drink, I'm afraid. I got bread, I got stew though, I got a room if you need a room.
I actually wouldn't mind a room. That would be rather lovely. How much for a room, young man?
It's one gold piece for the night, or 5 gold if you're staying for a whole 8 day.
I don't know if we're staying that long. I don't really know.
Well, you can pay it as you like. 1 gold piece a night.
I think I'll take a night.
Yeah.
You staying, boys?
Yeah. I mean, I'll stay. I mean, I don't mind bunking up with you if you want to share.
I'm more than happy to share a room with you two young lads.
I think I'd prefer a room to myself if that's all right.
Look over at Juna and kind of go, well, I'm up for being economical if you are.
Sounds good to me. Maybe we'll have you next door, other young man.
Fine, as long as I can get my own place to sleep.
Yeah, all right, 2 rooms. Take a seat, I'll get them ready for you, but that's 2 gold pieces altogether then, if you could. Whoever wants to pay that, you chuck your money over. Do you want any food with that at all, or like I say, it's 2 copper pieces for some bread and stew, and I've got water, but nothing stronger.
What happened to you, friend? Why is your inventory so low?
Right, so probably about 4 nights ago, just my entire brewery out back disappeared. So that's that.
When you say disappeared, do you mean it just vanished into nowhere?
Yeah, everything. It's all gone. The fermentation casks, my mill, my mash tun, all the stopper kegs, everything. It's all gone.
Oh dear.
I know. I don't even get it. Half them barrels were bigger than the doors coming in and out anyway, so...
Is there any damage done to your place?
No, not at all. Just a whole lot. Gone.
Just disappeared.
Oh dear.
Do you want us to take a little look?
Local guard had a look, but...
Yeah, no, I'm not, not one to dismiss the guard, but sometimes you need more observant eyes.
You're more than welcome to. I'll tell you, it's just an empty barn, though. There's nothing much out there anymore.
I wouldn't mind having a look, yeah.
But also keep in mind how dangerous it could be for us 3. If someone was able to sneak in, take barrels of produce without him noticing, who's to say they wouldn't do the same to us while we sleep?
I mean, if you're thinking you're going to get kidnapped, I don't know about that. Like, I try and keep the place secure. You have your own key to your own room. Like, I'm not going to...
My point being, friend, is that if they were strong enough to lift these barrels out without you noticing, a humanoid body wouldn't be too much trouble. I would have a vested interest in having a look at this.
Could I make an insight check on this half-orc person, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll D20, add your insight modifier.
A 21.
Oh, nice.
You just get the impression that he's just completely bewildered by the whole thing. It's, like I said, it's about 4 days ago that this happened, so he's almost already gone through the whole, emotional arc of, anger and grief, and now he's just sort of... He doesn't really know what to do with himself beyond... trying to carry on running his tavern. You get that sort of impression from him.
I tell you what would make you happy right now?
I mean, I'd quite like for my whole brewery to come back, but that's... I don't know if that's going to happen.
Oh dear.
I mean, it's certainly beyond my abilities, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, mine too, I'm afraid.
As you are having this conversation, the door swings open again. 2 more travellers step in behind. Gwendellyn and Gaius, if you could both describe what you look like.
So, Gwendellyn is a tall half-orc. She's about 20 years old. She's got grey skin and really lovely green hair and green eyes. She's clearly quite moneyed. Imagine kind of Jane Austen meets steampunk. That's the sort of vibe we're going for with her clothes. However, she does look a little bit bedraggled that you wouldn't expect to kind of go with these clothes. She's definitely looks like she's spent a few nights on the road right now. She has a really beautiful necklace that has a rose pendant and little thorns.
So your eye is obviously probably attracted by this splendorous woman coming before you, but trotting in behind the half-orc is a dirty-looking fellow. He's about 6'2". He has dark jet black hair, but is currently tied up in a ponytail at the back, a few strands covering his weirdly spattered face. He's done his best to tidy himself, but there are streaks of black, almost like dried blood, across his face. And when you look at his face, the top half of his face is covered by a masquerade mask, which is white with silver bits and bobs all over it. That looks relatively nice up until a certain point. You get close enough and you realise it's quite cheap. He is a theatrical chap, but sadly the rest of his attire is not so. He has got a tattered and dirty stained doublet with joggers and things tied loosely at the end. His boots are filthy, and he's wearing essentially a hooded cloak which is thrown back, but the hooded cloak is a slight faded blue. On his back you see he has a lute that is definitely not the best lute in the world, but the one thing that doesn't stand out beside the fact that he has pointed ears is that he has a very ornate large broadsword strapped to his back, and there's a satchel to his side where he keeps his knickknacks.
All the little knickknacks. The tavern keeper, he looks up, seeing you both come in, and he's like, well, mate, do you want a room?
My civilization.
Juna steps out from behind Enkidu and says, shroud alive as I live and breathe. Gwendellyn? That's not Dwayne.
Juna, what on earth are you doing here? Probably not what on earth, because that doesn't make sense. What in the world are you doing here? Don't tell me that you've come to take me home, because I tell you right now, I am not going home. I am staying right here, and I am looking for Dwayne, actually.
Juna turns round to the half-orc behind the tavern and says, are you sure you haven't got any ale?
I don't have any ale. I've got literally down to my last bottle of Oathhold whiskey.
We'll take it.
Hold the phone here. Hang on. We just literally walked into a tavern and there is no booze.
There's no
apart
booze.
from one bottle of whiskey.
It's a very nice one. Normally it'd go for 150 gold pieces by itself.
What?
No.
That's the only reason it's not been sold so far.
I tell you what, if you just pour us five portions, and this is on me. Now, Gwen, you sit down and you tell me what on earth has happened to you.
All right. He pulls it out from behind, like this one dusty old bottle, and he pulls it out and goes, it'll be like 15 gold for just little 5 shots. Is that right?
She puts it on the bar.
Whoa, holy shit.
I'm not going to refuse a paying guest. All right, and he pours it out, and they are the smallest of shots, unfortunately, but it's 5 very clean glasses because he's got nothing else to do with his time. And this nice amber-coloured whiskey for you all.
Miss Septhorn, please allow me to give you some compensation for this. That's quite kind.
Gaius, as soon as the shot is poured, immediately snatches it, and just in case it's taken off him. Why, that's very generous of you. Gwendolyn, you didn't tell me that you were looking for your husband when you tasked us to get here, but obviously he's not in this tavern, but you know this lady here, this little lady here?
Yes.
Less of the little lady, you.
Excuse me, I'm not one to judge. Excuse me. My name is Gaius. Guy to my friends. What's your name, milady?
I'm Juna.
Yes, this is Juna. We know each other from home, don't we, Juna?
We do indeed, yes.
This is Gaius. He's helped me, actually, on my travels. Gaius, you can have the rest of my drink, actually, to thank you for all your help.
Well, that's very sweet of you, and I couldn't possibly... And he takes the shot.
Look, I don't know who these people are that you're with right now, Juna, so I'd rather not... say everything about me before I've had some formal introductions.
It's all right, Gwen, if you just sit down and calm yourselves down. These two boys are friends. Orryn and Enkidu, if you wouldn't mind just introducing yourself.
Enkidu just tips his head back and says, my name's Enkidu. That is all.
Well, you're quite the conversationalist, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm Orryn. Met your friends here earlier today. Had a few scrapes together.
These 2 young'uns saved my life.
And how do I know that they're to be trusted?
I trust them, Gwen, so you can trust them too.
And how am I supposed to trust you to trust them, okay?
Well, I was just about to say, how am I supposed to know that I can trust you, whiskey stealer?
Well, I gave it to him.
You stole our shot.
No, he didn't steal it.
That's besides the point.
I cast Mage Hand to hover above the table, my big, scaly, multicoloured hand, and I just turn it so it gives a massive thumbs up, and it hovers ever so closely to Gaius, and I just kind of lean back and smile. I'm just yeah.
That's unsettling, that is. I'm not going to lie.
Yes. Well, I suppose if you trust them, Juna, then I can trust them too. But, I mean, Are you going to use them to help try and drag me home or something? Is that why you're here?
I'm going to be straight with you, Gwendolyn. When I left the house, I did come to find you to take you back home, but you don't need to fear. I'm not going to take you back to that place. Where exactly is this man?
I'm looking for my husband, Dwayne Fabulosa.
Your husband?
Yes, sort of.
Did you get married in the last couple of weeks or something?
Well, I mean, what is a marriage as such, you know? I mean, we will officially get married, of course, but you know, in our souls, we are married, I suppose.
And in body?
Well,
I mean, like, no funny business. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
I've only
where
just met
is
some
his
of
body?
these people. That's quite.
Where is he?
Because he wanted to make things official, he said that he needed to go and fetch his grandmother's tiara, which he'd left in a pawn shop. And so I gave him the money so that he'd be able to do that, because unfortunately he'd been a bit down on his luck money-wise. And so he went, and I waited. And I waited. And then he didn't come back. So something terrible must have happened to him. And he did mention Tillersham once, so I met this gentleman here, and he agreed to come with me to Tillersham. So this is why I'm here, and I'm trying to find him. Have any of you heard of Dwayne Fabulosa? You, barkeep, do you know Dwayne Fabulosa?
Blue-haired chap.
Yes, that's him.
Yeah, he was here about a week ago.
A week ago?
Yeah, I don't know what he was in town for. He stayed only a couple of nights, and then he left here. At least I don't know if he's out of town completely, but.
Do you know if he has any friends? Did he meet with anybody whilst he was here?
Oh, he was busy. Barely spent an hour here.
Oh, well, thank you very much. If you do remember any more information about him, I'm his wife, you see, and I'm very keen to reconnect with him.
Yeah. All right. And I really don't mean to pry, but it's an open relationship then, yeah?
Just as I thought. Sounds like a scoundrel.
How dare you? I've just met you, Enkidu, and my husband is not a scoundrel. What does open relationship mean?
Enkidu just starts laughing.
When a man and a woman, or a woman and a woman, or a man and a man love each other very much, and they love each other so much they want to share themselves with somebody else as well as the person they're with, then that opens into an open relationship. And then I'm just going to whisper in her ear all the dubious things that I can think of that an open relationship would entail.
Gwendolyn's mouth just drops lower and lower as she hears all of this stuff that she's never even imagined.
Juna side-eyes Gaius just so much. She's just like, oh my goodness, what is he saying and doing?
I certainly didn't believe that was the situation of our relationship, but...
I mean, I could have gotten the complete wrong end of the stick, love. I mean,
Yes.
I don't really know. He just had a friend over.
Oh, well, he's very friendly, but perhaps it was a relation.
Maybe. I just completely misunderstood what was happening between the two of them holding hands and that, yeah.
Was he a fan of brewery equipment, this husband of yours?
Well, he's an artist, actually. He's a bard, just like my good friend Guy here.
Yeah, what's the brewery stuff got to do with this?
Oh, no, just a little joke. It's fine.
Okay, fair enough. But also, how come this place doesn't have any booze, Juna?
It all got stolen.
What?
Barkeep. I mustn't keep calling you Barkeep. What is your name, friend?
Iris Trevec.
How long was it when they disappeared? When did it...
About 4 nights ago. A couple of nights after, what's his name, Dwayne?
Dwayne Fabulosa, yes.
Yeah, I don't think he had nothing to do with it, I'll be honest.
Well, that's encouraging. Oh, there are very strange people around here. We met a very strange thing in the woods, so...
Yeah, he was like a weird guy. Like, we were in the woods being through the woods, being very heroic, and then defeating lots of baddies and so on. Anyway, so we were just like camped out at this place, and I was keeping a very watchful eye, and this guy creeps up on us. He's like a weird, spindly little chap who like was talking about a witch, talking about he was looking for someone, and then he was like all of a sudden being like, hey, I saw that you fought this like...
It was a panther.
Panther, thank you. He was like, oh, I'll bring the panther back. And we were like, no, you don't need to bring the panther back. What do you mean back? And then all of a sudden this undead panther comes back and attacks us again. And then we look around and the guy's gone.
I mean, it was terrifying, absolutely terrifying.
What did he look like, this fella? He doesn't sound very nice.
He was called Kral, I believe he said his name was.
Yeah, something
Kral?
like that. He was like big eyes and like really like pale skin, like spindly sort of features. Gaunt is the right word. God, I love that word, gaunt.
Oh, well, I have quite a good vocabulary, actually.
Gaunt, my God, with my accent, it sounds beautiful.
Will you be wanting extra rooms then?
Well, yes, I suppose it would be good to stay here for the night, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and then we can maybe move on, and we can find out a bit more about where your husband went.
Yes, perhaps I could ask around for this friend or relation of his to see if I can find her, was it?
No, it was a chap.
Oh, right. What did he look like?
Half-elf lad, sort of amber skin, short hair. I'll be honest, I didn't really recognise him, but I don't know everyone in town.
So he's not local here then, Iris?
I mean, he might be out from the farmland, you know.
Well.
Iris, did they share a room together?
I believe so, yes.
I see.
I'm not really sure that means anything, Enkidu, unless you're assuming something about me and young Orryn here.
Yeah.
What? The thought had not crossed my mind, Miss Septhorn,
Have
please.
you both been sharing a room?
No, but was planning
We were
on
about to.
sharing tonight.
I wonder, Gwendolyn, if it's better if you share with me and we can go into exactly what has happened here.
Oh, great.
That might be a good idea, yes. Gaius, if you don't mind sharing with these lovely fellows.
Oh, what? You mean, okay, sharing with these two total strangers? One shifty guy and a guy who loves a lot of tools on himself? Yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm going to be honest with you. This is the first time I've slept below a roof for quite a while. So, hell yes, I will. Gentlemen, I will take the top bunk.
No, thank you.
Oh, okay. In that case, I will take whatever I get.
Orryn just gives him a look. Just like, who the hell is this?
We're gonna have a great
Orryn.
time, fellas.
Being passed from pillar to post.
So just one more room then that I need to prepare.
That would be lovely.
I think so.
That would be
If
very
if I'm
lovely.
doing a barkeeper's job and eavesdropping correctly. You're all right.
I mean, to be fair, there's no one else in this particular pub, and I can't be surprised because there's no beer in this pub. So
Exactly.
No, I mean, I will be very honest with you. I've just been sending them all over to the Woodman and Wolf because they got the last kegs in town. I'll be honest, they don't have rooms, but they got kegs. I'm not too worried about them if you're thinking that they might be the ones that stole it or whatnot, because I sell them the beer anyway. So
Wait, hang on. You sell them beer?
yeah, I make it all here, and then I sell some, and I send kegs over to them for a price and that. They were very nice actually. When they found out it was all stolen, they did send a couple of kegs back just to keep me going, but they got used up pretty quick. Anyway, I'm gonna go prep your rooms. I'll go get your rooms ready.
Before you go, you seem like a stand-up kind of lad.
Thank you. Can I just say, I'm quite appreciating the fact you keep calling me young. It's not often that I get that. So.
how old does he look?
Oh, he's like late 40s. Yeah, like his hair's still got most of its colour, but there's like little streaks of white and grey just creeping in.
Well, you say, do you by any chance know a Dr. Ardison Hograd?
Yeah, she works in town.
Oh, yeah?
You wouldn't happen to know where we can get hold of her, do you? We've got a bit of a message that we think she'd quite like to, well, not like to, but she probably should get.
Yeah. Well, I think her office, her little surgery, is just off of Servelt Square.
How near's that?
Only about a 10-minute walk that way.
Oh, lovely. I certainly should have asked this earlier on, but what time of day is it?
It's evening time, so
Okay.
probably, especially after this conversation, probably looking at like 7 o'clock at night. It's starting to get dark outside.
You make up our rooms. Let's go to the Woodman and Wolf, boys. And Gwen.
The other tavern actually is not that hard to find. The town itself maybe takes you half an hour to walk across the whole thing. But you wind your way through the streets, you find yourself in Servelt Square. It's quite a wide open town square, a couple of patches of grass, a water pump in the middle, a little statue of a man, and you follow the sound of a tavern down opposite the other side of the square, more towards the river.
Did this sorry to interrupt, but the statue, do any of us know who the man is?
Make a history check.
I'm not going to bother.
I'm not going to do it either.
Won't know.
16?
16, no. It does say, like, carved into the bottom of it, it does say Servelt.
Okay.
It's a fairly old stone statue, so it's actually quite faded. From the looks of it, he's maybe some kind of mage type character. He's got those like sort of stereotypical wizarding robes on. But then, you know, styles change, so he might have just been a very posh guy. But you work your way over the square toward the Woodman and Wolf down a little side road, and it is bustling to the point that it's almost spilling out. As you push your way in, the decor in this place is of a much lower quality, I would say, compared to the Nocking point. Like, it all just feels a little bit more used. The floor's a little bit stickier. But they've got one girl sat in the corner with a fiddle out, just sort of playing a gentle tune as everyone's chatting over her. So yeah, you push your way through to the bar, and there's a little human guy, sort of olive skin, mid-50s roughly. He's got stubble, he's bald. He looks thin, but like tough. Like he could quite easily throw each of you out. Hey, how can I help you? What do you want?
Do you have a Rockrest Red?
No, that's a bit expensive for our taste, lads.
Didn't think so. Ale then, please.
Ale, just Nocking Point ale, or do you want something from further afield?
Yes, please.
When will you have an ale?
Is there anything slightly fruitier?
Like what?
Well, back home, we used to sometimes have things called strawberry daiquiris.
The man is so very confused. He's like, I don't have no. I got some strawberries, I think, some in a barrel.
Oh, really?
Do you want me to chuck one of them in your beer?
Yes, why not? Yes, some strawberries and ale. That sounds delicious.
All right, love. If that's what you want. 5 ales.
Just in her ale. Don't put that in anyone else's.
5 ales, one with a strawberry in.
Maybe more than one strawberry.
Can I, when her ale arrives, can I cast Minor Illusion very surreptitiously so that it smells and, if I'm allowed, tastes like a strawberry dackery?
Yeah, I'll allow that.
That's amazing. That's a great.
So yeah, he pours he goes over to the taps and he pours out 5, and then he wanders behind through a little door into the kitchen. Comes out. The strawberries don't look that nice. They look a little bit, a little bit soft, like the kind that. Like, they've probably been sat there for a couple days too long. Anyway, he drops them in one, but when it's slid over to you, yeah, it does. It really smells nice. It smells like a strawberry daiquiri. You take a little sip. It is spot on.
Oh, that's absolutely delicious. Well done to you. What is your name?
Welton Grimble.
Oh, thank you very much, Welton Grimble. You're quite the artiste when it comes to beverages.
I mean, thanks. I just poured you a beer. I mean, it's not much, is it?
It tastes rather wonderful.
A little kindness can go a long way.
While we have you here, Mr. Grimble, may I ask you something about your relationship with the Nocking Point? You're aware of their stores going missing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that is some shit for them. I mean... Looking at the crowd, though, I don't mind it so much, but at the same time, they're getting through my store as quick as anything.
And anything strange happened to you in the meantime, in the past 4 days or so?
No, none of my stuff's gone missing.
Right.
And you don't know anything about their stuff going missing?
No, I don't. I don't like that accusatory tone, I'll be honest.
Can I insight check this guy?
Yes, you can.
He seems shady.
Juna doesn't trust anyone.
Juna is right.
12?
12. He just seems annoyed that you've basically accused him of theft.
I never accused you of anything. I just was asking if you're going to take that defensive tone with me. I can't help that.
If you're going to be like that, just calm it, all right? I don't want no trouble. I'm very busy. Just go and drink yourselves into a stupor over there, all right?
We'll just sit quietly out your way. Don't worry.
Yeah, thank you.
As he walks away, Juna messages into his head, "Don't mess with me, you."
Love it.
He stops where he's moving and just looks around the entire tavern. He doesn't know where that voice has come from. Obviously, he half recognises your voice, but with you wandering away, he can't quite tell whether or not you've just said that to him or if he's imagined it or what. And he's just until somebody calls him for a drink, and he's like, shakes it off and goes over and starts pouring something else. As you struggle to find a table inside, like I say, it's very busy. But there's a little nook just by the door, like a little windowsill that you can all line your drinks up on and stand crowded there. You do overhear the conversation closest to you is a young girl. maybe about 17, sort of walnut skin, human. She's got 2 plaits, and she's just like crying to her friends. She's just saying, and he called my handwriting less than refined, and I just don't think that it's fair. I've been really trying. And her friends are like, yeah, it's okay. Atrella, it's fine. Oh my gosh, Atrella, he doesn't deserve you, Atrella. And that sort of goes on, but she's just like, I thought we were going to be forever, and we're just not going to be forever.
So is she upset because someone called her handwriting bad?
Yeah, that's the gist of it.
Okay,
yeah.
that just sounds like my year 5s, frankly.
Orryn's ears are going to prick up a little bit in that conversation and just listen in.
Enkidu's looking straight into his drink.
And as Orryn goes nearer, I think Juna's going to try and like bustle Gwen down the other end of that conversation, so she's as far away from it as physically possible.
Gwendolyn is watching Iselle. Is that the name of the fiddler?
Yeah, the girl on the fiddle. Interestingly, she seems to be dressed in fairly official clothing, almost like leather type armor on her. But she's sat there with her fiddle, and she's really not doing it to perform to the group, to the room. She's just sort of for her own entertainment. But yeah, her sort of chalky face is almost getting quite flushed with when she gets into a really intricate bit of the fiddling, and then like it just goes wrong a little bit, and she sort of like is annoyed, has a slight glance to see if anybody's noticed, but then just carries on to herself. She you realise that quite quickly she's really only playing 1 or 2 songs just over and over, almost as if that's all she knows for now, or at least those are the ones she really wants to play tonight.
Gwendolyn's kind of trying to catch her eye at what feels like a polite and appropriate moment.
She notices Gwendolyn, gives a little smile, just carries on playing.
Occasionally, when it seems appropriate, she'll do a little clap to be like, but like not like too much, but just enough to be like, oh yes, I'm watching, I'm enjoying it. And
she appreciates it. She doesn't move to get closer to you, but she does you can see that there's some real appreciation actually that. And then a very small bit of panic creeps into her face that she's like, I'm not. Oh, there's people actually listening to me. So like her fingers get a little bit more tense, but then as you're sat there, sort of like clapping along, again another guy comes over to join her, and he is in full guard uniform, and you realise at this point that actually it's very similar to what she's wearing. But he sits down, he's brought 2 drinks over, puts one down at the little table for her, sits down next to her, just like carries on drinking, and the 2 of them start chatting away.
This seems like somebody's come to chat to her. Perhaps this is my opportunity to go up and try and say hello.
Yeah, so you edge on in, and the guy's like, yeah, Iselle, like, I just don't know what's happened, like, with him. She's like, we shouldn't really be talking about that, Sully. Let's just leave it for when we're back at work, all right?
Hello. Sorry to interrupt you both. I wonder. I'm new to town. I wonder if I might sit with you for a moment. I was really enjoying your playing. Iselle, is that correct?
Yeah. Thanks. It's just for myself though, really.
Oh, I was very much enjoying it. I do so appreciate people who actually can play instruments. I'm absolutely awful myself. My name is Gwendolyn. How rude of me not to say my name so soon.
She like sort of puts her bow down, shakes your hand. She says, I'm Iselle. This is Sully.
Oh, Sully.
And he's like, you're right.
Pleasure to meet you. You were both some sort of officials here in the town?
Yeah, we're part of the town guard. So if you need anything, you just come chat to us, all right?
Oh my, well, actually, I am looking for some information. I wonder if you'd be so kind as to help me. I'm looking for a certain individual named Dwayne Fabulosa. I believe he passed through here recently.
They look at each other briefly, and Iselle sort of shakes her head. She says, no, sorry, not heard anybody by that name. He's
a very, very talented musician with blue hair, and I believe was spending time with a half elf, another half elf with amber skin and short hair. Perhaps you saw the pair together.
Again, they look at each other, and Iselle's like, "I'm really sorry. I've not seen anyone like that."
Oh well, it was worth asking. Talented musicians might know other talented musicians.
Thanks.
I want my friends that I'm with. We're staying over at the Nocking point, and there's been some sort of robbery, and my friends are trying to see if we can help as best we can. I don't suppose you might be able to help shed some light on the subject over there if you'd like to come meet them.
There is a slight tension in the two of them, as you mentioned that. And Sully's like, we're not really supposed to talk about ongoing investigations,
really?
Just in case, like, you know, if it gets back to whoever, you know, we can't let the criminals know what we know.
Oh,
you know?
no, absolutely. No, that makes a lot of sense. You know, I'm a very discreet person myself, actually. So, you know, if there's any, you know, if you wanted somebody to bounce ideas off, you know, I'm very good at that sort of thing.
Thanks. Like, we'll keep that in mind if we need any help. But I don't know if the captain.
It's an ongoing investigation.
Well, yeah, because it only happened 4 days ago, and we got no leads. And Azelle like sort of nudges Sully, and it's like, we have leads, we just can't talk about them.
Oh, you do? You have some leads? Anybody local or?
We can't talk about them.
No, sorry. Of course, you already said that. Sorry, I'm just can be such a curious bean sometimes.
Juna's been sort of standing, not on purpose in secret, but she's tiny and has just sort of followed Gwen over and not really introduced herself. But she puts into Azelle's head, she just says, Welton Grumble?
And Azelle has a brief moment that she's like, what's happening? She looks around, looks across the room almost as if like someone's shouted at her. She's not entirely convinced, but she says, no, I don't think so.
You don't think so what?
What?
What? You just said, no, I don't think so.
Didn't you just say, no, we can't. I'm sorry, we can't talk about.
No, yes, of course not.
Investigations.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yes, of course. I'm so sorry. I've been interrupting your wonderful playing. I would so love to let you continue playing. It's so lovely to meet.
Angie, what was your name again? Sorry.
It's Gwendellyn. I'm staying at the Nocking point, and you know what? It'd be so lovely to speak with another young lady of my age, and it would be lovely to make some friends around here.
I mean, I don't mean to be. You just seem quite well together, and I don't know if I'm. Maybe you'd be better off friends with Atrella, like over there. And she just points over to the other side of the room, to the crying girl. She's still crying, and she's like, "It's the captain's daughter."
Oh well, perhaps, but I respect your talent, and I think that you have a very lovely warmth about you. I was very drawn to you from coming in here. So I don't think it's anything to do about whether being well-to-do or not. If somebody's talented, you're like a magnet to me.
Oh well, thanks.
But you're welcome. I really do hope perhaps we could meet tomorrow or something. I'm sure you're working or something. But perhaps we could. Have a cup of tea or something.
So she looks over at Sully like, what do I do? What do I do? And he just like shrugs it in. He's like, yeah, like it will be working, but if you want to pop me into the guardhouse for a cup of tea.
Oh, that would be delightful. Thank you so very much. Would it be all right if I bring perhaps some friends?
I mean...
Well, that seems perfect. I think we're sorted. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And you. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Cheerio. Goodbye.
Bye. And the two of them just look so bewildered as you go. And they're like, oh, God, what have we agreed to?
As she steps away, Juna's behind her. And she just steps forward and puts her staff by the table and her hand on the table. And she says, don't you judge a book by its cover. You would do worse than to have that girl for your friend. And just walks off.
On the other side of the room, Enkidu, Gaius, and Orryn.
I'm sitting on my chair backwards, like I've flipped it around, like
just like elbow on table, like hey, oh my gosh, what's wrong with you, milady? You seem upset.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
Oh, excuse us. We are adventurers and travelers from distant lands who have come far and wide to try a bit of the delicious ale in these beautiful establishments here in town. We are also, seekers of truth and justice, and frankly, my dear, we solve problems. It looks like you've got a big problem.
Yeah, I do. Is this some kind of pickup? Because it's not working.
No, madam, please. My friend here didn't finish in explaining our proficiencies.
One of the friends sort of leans forward and goes, I don't even know who you are, but she's going through something right now, okay? So you need to explain yourself, or at the very least tell us your names, because, I mean, I like the look of you. She looks over at Enkidu, but she's like, but maybe for not now.
Enkidu like shares a look with Gaius to say like, okay, we've gotten in, let's tread carefully. Part of our specialties here, ladies, are, dealing with certain scoundrels who take advantage of well-to-do, beautiful women of the town and leave them emotionally vulnerable after having their delights with them. I'm not saying that is exactly the case with you, but you're clearly upset over a man who was far below your station and your worth, and we just wanted to inquire as to who could be so terrible to have done such a thing to such a beautiful young woman.
They sort of look at each other. Make a persuasion check.
Shit, that's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. The two friends sort of sat either side of Atrella, sort of share a look. And then one of them puts a hand on Atrella's hand, and she's like, unfortunately, he is quite highborn, but he is not worth your attention, Atrella, and that's what we've been trying to say. So thank you, kind sir, for agreeing with us. Sometimes you've got to hear it from an outside perspective. And the other friend's like, yeah, so if you want to go deal with Trimt Vondel, then you just do that. You might get in some trouble with the guards, but it's okay because Atrella's dad is the captain of the guards, so he'll be, like, fine. And Trimt deserves it because he's just been mean. And Atrella's like, no, he's not, he's fine, he loves me, but he's just... I just don't know why he'd break us up again. You do get the slight impression that, like, they're not necessarily as highborn as they're, like, putting on. Like, their dresses aren't hugely, like, extravagant. Gwendolyn's tatty, like, clothes look much nicer than anything that these girls are wearing. But they've clearly got ambitions, shall we say. That, like they've done what they can with their dresses. Like, they've you can see that they've sewn on their own bows and things to try and, like, upcycle what they've been given.
So, what, if you don't mind my asking, what did this Trimt fellow do?
Well, I thought that, like, that we were just gonna... I thought he was going to marry me. I know we're still young. Okay, he's only 19 and I'm only 17, so... But then he was just so mean all of a sudden. And he was like, I don't know if this is happening. And then he said, you can't even write that well. And I was like, my handwriting is impeccable. And he was like, no, it's not. It is less than refined and I am refined, okay?
Wow, okay. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not saying, you should or you shouldn't. I'm not going to... It's not my job to tell you these things. But if you need a bit of help with a bit of handwriting, I might be able to assist.
Did you just say that I need to work on my handwriting? Because I don't need to work on my handwriting.
I didn't
No,
say
he
that.
didn't say that at all. He was trying to say the other thing, in fact.
Yeah, the other thing.
Yeah, I was trying to say the other thing. What other thing?
Using your obviously not great handwriting to lodge a formal complaint against a man who promised himself to you
I have
and
made
broke that
formal
promise.
complaints. I have made so many, but Daddy just says, like, you can't do anything because like, he's the son of the lady, so...
Look, you want to, like, we could play around here, my lady, but do you, like, honestly want us to, like, sort him out, like, see him, like speak to him quiet, like, and just say, hey, you can't go around treating these ladies like this. Maybe if you just point him out to us and we could have a quiet word with him, like, we'll square it out, don't you worry. Well,
Atrella's like, no, you don't have to do anything. And the other girls are like, yes, please, yes. So he's human. He lives over at Vondel Manor. So if you could just go up there and knock on the door, that would be really appreciated. And just tell him to, like, to think better of us. That's what I wouldn't say. Yeah. He's got strawberry blonde short curls. He looks like an absolute dreamboat. And sometimes he likes riding his white horse, Thaddeus. Yeah, he's just got a really cute smile, actually. And I don't know, he's just got that little bit of stubble. And, like, this one girl's getting far too into it, to the point that Atrella's given her shifty side looks.
Oh, this is the friend describing this.
Yes, yeah, this is the friend.
Oh, wow.
And Trella's like, no, I do appreciate it, but if you could just leave us alone, because I think I just need to be alone right now, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm going home. I just can't deal with it. And she sort of stands up and like pushes her way through the crowd and like leaves, and the two friends get up and follow her. The one friend comes back to Enkidu and just slightly touches your hand and says, "Are you going to be in town long?"
That's entirely dependent upon you.
Oh, shivers.
Okay.
Shivers.
I'll, okay. Okay. And she leaves.
Enkidu has a massive sigh out, goes, "Oh my gosh, I thought they were going to go on forever. Bloody hell."
That was beautiful. Beautiful, my friend.
I must say, you really are a professional. I had my doubts. You know, you've got the charm.
I mean, like, I set them up. You just absolutely knocked them out of the freaking park. I mean, wow. Okay, very good. Very nice. And, like, Orryn, I can appreciate what you were trying to do there, and the guards love a trial.
I don't think you know what I was trying to do.
Oh.
What were you trying to do? Humor me.
Trying to get some work.
Oh, yeah, touche. We all appreciate that. That's true. That's true. And with that, I will eventually wander over to the bards who are playing at the moment, whip out my lute and try and like jam with them and try and get old buddies with the guards as well.
With Azelle in the corner. So Gwendellyn and Juna have rejoined you just as Gaius is walking off. So Gaius, make a performance check. I'm assuming you're just wordlessly going over, and just like playing along.
15.
15, yeah. Like the song that she's playing, actually, you've played before. You actually know the chords and that fairly well. It's in a slightly different key, but you know, so you just adjust your lute a little bit. But it's not long before. It's not long before like the two of you are playing in sync, and like again, she doesn't necessarily say anything. She's just like getting into it alongside you.
Nice.
Been travelling with him for a few days and I haven't actually heard him play yet. It's good to know that he's quite good, isn't it?
Yeah, he's brilliant.
It is all right.
I have yet to find something about this guy that I don't like.
I could enlighten you if you like.
You all right, Orryn?
Yeah,
What's
fine.
wrong?
No, just looking forward to a night with him.
Those girls seem to have left. Did you scare them off?
No, actually, we had quite a fruitful conversation. Isn't that right? And I kind of like firmly tap Orryn's back and just kind of like rub it and just grit my teeth a bit. Like, yeah, we had an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Well, good for you.
I think that's what he wants me to say.
Orryn is breaking my heart.
I don't suppose you found out any more about the mystery you were all looking into?
Well, I think we've buttered up the daughter of the captain of the guard, which can't do any harm.
Oh, no, I was just speaking to a few of the guards, actually. I'm going to have tea with them tomorrow, so that should be nice.
Perfect.
You're very welcome to join.
That coincides with the people we just spoke to. Wow. Seems you're not totally useless.
Excuse me?
I think I misjudged you.
What did you just say?
I said it turns out that you're not completely useless. That your looks were deceiving.
Right. Okay. Do you know what, actually? I think it's time for me to return back to the tavern. I hope you all have a very pleasant evening. Good night.
And I go and just wave my hand offhandedly, like, okay, bye.
Gwendolyn goes back to the knocking point. She's gone.
I think Juna's like, what do I do? But she kind of wants a drink, so she stays.
Yeah, Enkidu sees that and like buys Juna another drink. Seeing her like make the right choice, he kind of waves the barkeep over and is like, "We're having another, mate."
Yeah, how long do you all stay in the Woodman and Wolf before you start heading back?
I'm staying until Gaius has had his fill of playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be finished after a gold's worth of booze.
So there's 4 mugs of ale.
Nice. And I'm not putting out feelers, but I do want to just like get quite pally with the guards. So for every time I buy a drink, I'll get those guys a drink as well, just like a camaraderie among musicians sort of thing.
So you're saying you're spending 3 gold altogether, or?
Yeah. You know what?
The game funds, baby.
Yes, I am. Fine.
Yes. Yeah, and like you build up a bit of a rapport with them. They're not talking anything about their investigations at all. Like the topic doesn't even come up, but they are chatting about they're quite interested in you, like where you learn, like if you travel around. They clock pretty quickly that you're just a performer. There are quite a few questions about your mask. How do you respond to those?
Oh, just I'll just tell them what the case is, which is that I am landed gentry that is currently just on a tour away from my father's estate, and that I want to see the world and come up with as many adventurous stories as I can. But I'm going to ask them as not only as fellow musicians, but also as respected members of the community to keep it all in the hush-hush, because I don't want this to blow out of proportion.
And like Sally especially is like, oh, secrets. I quite like secrets. But yeah, there's an agreement. You're not entirely sure how well they're going to stick to their word, but they're like, oh no, yeah, we won't tell no one. We won't tell no one.
If I'm just leaving like my trooper around me and stuff like that, I will just like on the sneak just be like, if I've told you guys a secret, and it's a very personal secret, but I can't show you what's under the mask, but like maybe you could share me a secret, just a little one. Go on.
Make a persuasion check.
8.
Oh. Sully's like, I've got 3 nipples. And like Nizelle just nudges him and he's like, no, he doesn't.
All right, well, you have that great time with your 3rd nipple, and I'll see you anon.
Anon. Did he just say anon?
That's what I said, anon.
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 Anon. N-A-N-O-N. I said the same thing with yous.
Yeah, anon, lad. Anon.
Yeah, anon.
Anon. They've had a couple of drinks themselves, so the two of them stumble out, just walking down the street, being like, "Anon, anon, anon." Gwendellyn, having headed back to the knocking point, probably an hour or two before the others turn up, you arrive back, and Iris is still stood at the bar. There's one other person sat in the corner, just a little old guy who's just having his bread and stew. But Iris just sees you come in, he's like, you've not got the others with you? Your room's all ready, though.
Oh, thank you so much. That's lovely. No, the others are carrying on having a drink. I wasn't really enjoying myself, so...
Sometimes just a bit of alone time. That's what's best.
Yes. I don't suppose if you could tell me if there's a pawn shop in Tillersham, like somewhere where you sell your goods, but they hold on to it and get the money.
I don't know if we've got a pawn shop specific, but we got there's a plenty store.
A plenty store?
Yeah, people buy and sell from there all the time. Gerania Pine, that's her name that runs it. It's mostly just everyday stuff, though.
Right. I suppose nothing fancy like a tiara.
Oh, I don't know about that. No.
Although
books. She's got some books.
Oh, books. Books are interesting. I do like books. I suppose many people pass through there, so perhaps it's somewhere worth checking out.
You're right, love. You're right.
Yeah, I'm just feeling a little bit out of my depth, really.
Yeah.
This is all a bit overwhelming, and especially I hoped that it would be quite straightforward to find Dwayne. At least I know he's alive, or at least he was a week ago, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not so sure about these people that I'm with yet. I know the old gnome lady quite well. She's been a big part of my life, but I suppose the other people I don't particularly know very well, and I don't know if I'm on the right path or not.
I'm not always the best judge of character, but they didn't seem bad, all that lot. I've had much worse come through here.
Oh, yes.
As he's sort of chatting, he gets the oath-hold whiskey out again and just pours another little shot and just slides it over to you. I'll just help you sleep.
Thank you, that's very kind. And she necks it and makes her way upstairs.
All right. No, then.
Thank you so much, thank you.
No worries, love. The rest of you, like I say, it's a couple of hours before you sort of make your way back to the knocking point. A little bit inebriated.
And now
I think Juna is very inebriated. She's a tiny old lady, and I think is like drunk with the lads.
I'm carrying Juna on my shoulders.
Yeah, and she's like singing the songs that Gaius had sang earlier, but like can't really remember the words. Like maskety mask. I wear my beautiful mask while I'm singing in a pub in a strange town where we don't know anyone, and we're trying to tell someone that someone else has died. They might or might not know.
When someone else sings the lyrics or sings the lyrics, I start to realize why people don't say my lyrics are very good.
What's everyone's passive perception?
12.
11.
11.
13, but I'll probably be at disadvantage having had a few.
Oh, yeah.
Orryn's not drunk very much. Just saying.
All right. It's absolutely fine. Nobody notices as you're all heading back. You just don't notice.
Something.
You don't notice what you don't notice.
Oh, here we go.
But you make your way back to the knocking point, and Iris, he's still awake, even though it's getting late, and he sort of gives you all a nod, and he just says, your friend, she's already up in bed. Don't worry about nothing. She's all right, I think.
Do you know what, Iris? You are a good guy. You are a stand-up guy, and I just wish that we could help you find that brewery that you lost. I tell you, if I could just get it back for you now, I'd do anything. You are a superstar. Don't you let anyone else tell you any different, you, okay?
Thank you. I'll tell you what. You manage to find anything, I'll let you stay in for free. How's that? I'll give you all your money back.
Oh, I've never had an offer like that, young man. Oh, that is wonderful.
And she's calling me young again. Oh.
I lean over to the bar and I extend my hand to shake, and I say, I've known this woman for precisely 1 day, and if there is anything I know about this woman, that she speaks all from the heart, unreservedly, unabashedly. If she says she's going to do something for you, she will do it, friend, and I will help her.
And if I was 160 years younger, I totally would.
And with that, I let his hand go.
Yeah, I was say, Iris takes your hand, Enkidu, gives it a shake, but gives Juna a bit of a side eye. Just like, oh, no, I'm going to be rude, but I'm much bigger than you are, my darling, all right?
Size doesn't matter. Size doesn't matter.
It's probably about 2 or 3 times the size of Juna. I'm serious. You find information. You figure out what's happened with my stuff. You stay in for free.
I tell you, Iris, take me into that farm right now. No funny business. I just want to have a little look around.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wouldn't mind having a little look around.
Sure.
I mean, you're welcome to. Are you sure you're in the right state for it, though?
Anon.
Gwendellyn from upstairs, you can very clearly hear all of this happening down there. Like, I can imagine you've not really slept, and if you were just on the verge, you've been woken up at least. Iris, he gives a bit of a shrug, and he's like, all right, come on in, come have a look, come on. And he opens up a door directly behind the bar, and he walks in. It's a couple of steps down. Are you all following?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a couple of little wooden steps down, and into it's like a wide barn that is completely empty. There's the door that you've come in, another door out. You can imagine into an alleyway behind the building. There's wooden stairs leading up to a small mezzanine, and everywhere there's old stains across the floor, old like watermarks and things, scattered straw. There's grain dust everywhere, but apart from that, it is completely empty. Like you can almost see with the staining where there would have been barrels, and there are still a few shelves, but they've all just been completely emptied. Mm-hmm. It goes, ta-da! This is it.
I would like to make an Arcana check, please.
What on?
If magic has been used to remove them.
So that would have to be like a detect magic spell or an identify or something. Yeah, Arcana is more like facts about like magical history and things like that, magical lore. But you're more than welcome to make an investigation check of the area.
Yeah, can I have a look around and look at the kind of like markings, see if there's markings on the floor where the barrels have been dragged or anything, or...
Yeah,
I'm going to assist Orryn.
Orryn, make an investigation check. Juna, because you're drunk, make one with disadvantage.
Oh my gosh.
While they're doing this, can I just like lean over to Enkidu and just be like, so like, what's Orryn's deal? Because he's got all these tools and stuff. Like, what's the crack with him?
I've been trying to quietly figure that out without asking him directly. You know, he doesn't seem... excuse me, any belches. doesn't seem, the most forthcoming kind of person. I've just been quietly curious. Like I haven't taken my eyes off Orryn the whole time while I'm talking to Gaius.
What did you roll, Orryn?
14.
14. So, Juna, you just get really, really distracted with one of the barrel like spots because it sort of maybe looks a little bit like two people kissing, like the stains on the floor. And you're just like, maybe, and so you just spend a little bit of time in your little drunken state, just moving around from different angles, being like, yep, there's definitely two. There's the lips. There's them kissing. Orryn, on the other hand,
I found a pawn shop. Way.
Yeah, what exactly are you looking for, Orryn? The scratches in the ground.
So I was trying to see if there's any obvious sort of signs of how stuff has been moved away. Like, where has it been taken? Like,
so you actually head up the mezzanine, up the little wooden stairs, and there are again up there similar patches of staining in the ground. But you also notice that along around the edges of some of the patches, there's an oil, it's iridescent, opaline coloured, milky coloured oil almost. Just a couple of little drops here and there.
Would I know what that is? Can I?
You can make an Arcana or an alchemical check.
Awesome. I don't have any alchemical tools on me, so I'll make an Arcana check if I may.
Mm-hmm.
I get to add a D4, but I've still only rolled a 10.
10. So you touch it a little bit. You give it a little taste. It's quite bitter. There is a slight magical fizzle in it. You're not entirely sure what it would be used for, but there is something magical, maybe, about this.
Huh. Is there enough to sort of scrape and put into a little, pot or something? Just keep a little, sample of it.
Yeah, you can try. You spend some time traveling around the whole barn, scooping up tiny little bits. And yeah, you know that especially from your background, that there are types of oils that can be used in maybe transportation, that kind of thing. You're not necessarily sure if this is that, but thinking about different ways of moving large things around, there is one or two things perhaps that it might be. You're not sure.
Okay, I'll go back down to the others and just be like, okay, I found a little bit of something that might be of interest.
Did you see two people kissing on the floor as well, Orryn?
Yeah. There.
It's amazing.
Going at it
my
up there,
goodness.
Gaius and Enkidu, are you also making checks?
No, I'm just admiring all the beautiful work going forth and possibly compiling a lot of adjectives to add their name in the song.
Enkidu is a bit reluctant because he's fully aware that he is pretty drunk. And he knows that it will be a bit useless. So he's just watching Orryn work. He's quite curious about his abilities.
Okay. In which case, back downstairs, Orryn. You're welcome to make another investigation check.
Yeah, I'll have another look around. Oh, hello. 23.
23. Oh, okay. Back downstairs then. Especially where Juna's pointing at the ground, being like, "It's people kissing."
Okay, I'll have a look there. Go on then.
You notice just the slightest part of a muddy footprint, just from near where she's stood. The feet are just a little bit bigger than Juna's, so you can discount her. But you follow it back toward the door that leads out to the alleyway. Especially with the 23, you open the door, and something very confusing. So is what you can see. It's a slightly muddy alleyway, and you can very clearly see 3 distinct human-sized footprints coming in from the alleyway outside. But inside, you follow the trail inside the barn, and then the 3 footprints again reach the door going out. But then there are no footprints outside leading away.
Huh. All right. So, looks like 3 people came here, did something, and then they've just disappeared into thin air.
Perhaps the thieves could fly.
Yeah.
What's that you found?
Oh, we found some footprints, muddy ones.
Perhaps thieves could either, I don't know, somehow teleport or quickly step away using magic, or even fly.
You think it was magic?
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
we don't have any leads right now, do we?
I was sort of maybe thinking it was magic, but I didn't want to.
Magic, 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 and magic in the barn. There's been some magic in the barn.
I mean, to be fair, like when does like a brewery like just like vanish out of thin air? Like that's. I mean, I say that sentence. You think magic. I think what else are you gonna do?
Precisely.
I mean, yeah, but there's hardly anyone magic Randy here.
Hang on, Gwendolyn's smart. Gwendolyn! Gwendolyn!
she's probably asleep.
It's probably best to leave her out of this.
Gwendolyn, you very clearly hear that from upstairs.
Hang on, I'm going to do an impression of my friend Adrian. Hang on. Gwendolyn!
Yeah.
It's an impression of my brother.
I think Juna joins in. Gwendolyn!
Is there a window in the room?
Yes, there is. And from your window, it does look outside. So in like down into the alley, and you can actually see the door open with the light from the barn sort of spilling out.
I open it rather sleepily. Can you please keep your noise down? I am trying to sleep.
Sorry, we're just investigating.
You're investigating?
Yeah, that's what I said, dollface.
Right. I think perhaps you've all had quite a bit to drink. Perhaps you could just keep the noise down for now and we'll have a proper discussion in the morning,
Yeah,
perhaps?
we'll try and investigate quietly, sorry.
That would be great. Thanks. She shuts the window and goes back to bed.
My laugh is as Juna as well as Vicky. It's all very funny.
Enkidu was just quiet the whole time, just watching Gwendolyn.
Yeah, no, Iris gives a shrug. He's like, well, it's probably the witch out in the woods then.
Oh.
I ain't never seeing this brewery again if it's her.
The witch in the woods.
Well, hang on, that's quite the leap there. Why didn't you lead with that earlier?
Who's the witch in the woods?
Hang on, Miss Stepthorne, please wait a second.
But I mean, like I say, there's really only two people that could do magic, right? Randy, it's a witch in the woods, and nobody messes with her because she's scary as anything.
Could you tell us more about her?
Yeah, basically, she's a witch, and she lives in the woods, and she turns people into frogs if you get too close. And
What?
There's a witch in the woods who turns people into
pretty
frogs.
sure she eats babies, you know, that kind of thing.
Okay. What's the other?
Terrifying.
The other person. You said there was two people who could do magic.
Yeah. Well, the other is the lady of the town, Lady Vondel. She does some magic, but why would she steal my brewery? That don't make sense.
Lady Vondel.
She got like a good-looking, like curly hairs, curly head, strawberry blonde, like son.
Yeah, she got a couple of sons. Yeah, Trimpt and Oskin.
Trent Vondel.
They're all right, kids. They're not so bad, those boys.
Iris, we have a date with Lady Vondel as early as tomorrow. We could inquire.
Do you have a date with Lady Vondel?
Well, figuratively speaking, Miss Stepthorne, but
We are popular in this town.
Now, don't be accusing the lady of nothing.
oh no,
nothing.
we are going to be speaking to her on a completely separate matter. But if the opportunity arises, we will ask. We'll keep your name out of it, of course. We'll be quite savvy, but this is relative to what we're already seeking, so it will be no trouble at all to investigate this over there.
All right, she's a very nice lady. She takes care of this town. No, don't be.
It's not her that we have a vested interest in anyway. I promise you we'll be on our best behaviour. And I kind of give a knowing look to Gaius, tip my head back in a nod, like,
I do an exaggerated nod as well.
And then I do, but I'm not sure what I'm nodding at. I'm just nodding because everyone else is nodding.
Iris, can I ask this witch in the woods?
Yeah.
Would you say she has, like, copper hair, or how would you describe her?
I don't know. I've never seen her. Stories go, though, that she sort of looks like she's made of the trees and the moss, and she, like, wears mud all over her, and, like, she crawls out of the rivers. Like, she's going to drag you in and drown you. She's not that nice.
No, that doesn't sound very nice, I'm going to be honest.
I'm pretty sure she's real. I'm pretty sure.
Where would, if we was to go looking for this witch, where might we find it other than by a river?
I think we might find her in the woods, Orryn.
I don't know. She's out there in the Lockhart Wood, but I
in the Lockhart Woods.
I would not suggest going to find her.
Does she have a wife and a puppy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's my fault.
I don't know about that, no.
Maybe we should have wise voices when we are like in the morning and stuff. That shaking of the head started to hurt my head. Wise words and wise voices will prevail in the morning.
I think your friend's got a point there. I've seen drunk people wander off looking for whoever in the woods before. That's never a good idea. You all go sleep. I'll have breakfast ready. Sunrise. Maybe a bit later for you lot. If you want to go hunting the woods for a witch, that is on you. But I would not suggest it.
I feel like I could get on with this witch. I think she sounds pretty cool.
Is this witch called Blair, by the way? Because I got a great project in mind.
No. We know.
No.
As far as we know, she's called Rowana Witten.
Well, she has a name, she has a past, and she was a civilian.
How long these stories been bubbling around you?
Oh, hundreds of years. I don't know. My dad told me. His dad told him. She's very old.
Oh.
Yeah, but she looks very young.
Oh, does she know?
Yeah. And some kids went looking for her once a few years ago, and they never returned. No, it's not true. They just came back there, but I think they were scared by some shadows or something.
Well, Iris, it's been one heck of a night. I'm going to retire.
I think that's fair, all of yous. Thanks for looking anyway.
Do you mind, Iris, if I just spend 10 minutes in here just before I head up to bed?
You do what you want. There's nothing worth stealing in here anymore.
No, that's certainly true.
Yeah.
Okay. Good night, Orryn.
Well, I'll see you upstairs in a minute.
Yeah, I'll see you upstairs. I don't snore.
Great.
Much. Now walk on.
So yeah, the others leave, and Iris leaves you to your own business. Orryn, what are you doing?
So I'd like to pull down the goggles that I'm wearing on my head, and spend 10 minutes fiddling them with my various tools, and set them for magical detection, if I may.
Yeah.
And have a look around the barn and just see if anything magical springs up in their view as I look around wearing my goggles.
Actually, with everyone out of the way as well, you can very quickly see all of the spots of oil that you've completely missed, and there is a lot of it. Actually, it's almost everywhere, and it's all pinging up with the.
I get to School of Magic if it has one.
Yeah. So it's all transmutation. All of the oil is all transmutation. The other thing that you notice is that the doorway looks like it's had some magical, like the doorway out into the alleyway has had some magical effect put on it briefly. Like there's just the like after effect of it, and that would be conjuration around the door. And like you step outside to like look in, and the same thing is not on the outside of the door frame, just on the inside.
Interesting. So I have a good look around, put my goggles back, sort of look up at the pub, and have a look around the barn and see if there looks anywhere that I could sleep in the barn.
Sit in the barn. Yeah, the mezzanine is completely empty, so you just you get up there, you get your bedroll out, you just set up shop there instead.
Yeah, he's going to tuck himself as much into a corner as he can. Somewhere where he can see the door. He's going to shut the door, obviously, before he goes up there. Somewhere where he can see the door and just tuck himself as much in the corner as he can, and settle down for the night there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And with that, we'll take a little break.
Oh hey, it's me, Grace. Whilst our characters sleep off their drunken escapades, I'm here to remind you that we are on social media, a place where you can engage with us through the magic of the internet. On Twitter and Instagram, we are at No Small Rolls, and you can find our Facebook page by searching No Small Rolls. Rolls spelt ROLLS, as in roll your stocking down. and all that jazz. A massive thank you to all of you out there who are already following us, liking our posts, and recommending us. We absolutely love getting to hear from you, so please do continue to tag us and let us know what you think of the podcast. We are thrilled to announce that we have commissioned the incredibly talented Sophia Murphy to create our official character art. We saw the rough sketches the other day and they are already amazing, so please do go check out her work. She's on Instagram at Sophia_comic art, and I believe she is open for commissions. No Small Roles will be releasing new episodes every Sunday, so episode 4 will be released on the 16th of August 2020. Make sure you subscribe to us on your favourite podcasting app so you can be the first to find out what happens next. And if you like what you've heard so far, please do leave us a positive review and rating on iTunes. It's a really great way of getting more people to hear about the podcast. That's all from me for now. Let's get you back to the knocking point.
So, the next morning, after a fairly good night's sleep for most of you, you wake up, the sun is, I was going to say shining bright, but there's quite a lot of cloud actually. It's out there, it's warm enough for a spring especially, it's quite a comfortable heat coming in. The smell of cooking bacon and mushrooms and bread is wafting through the entire Nocking Point tavern. And one by one, you all make your way down into the tap room. And Iris is there. He doesn't look like he slept much, but he's used to it. He's like, morning everyone. Put some food out, and he's just sort of
Morning, Iris.
laid it out on one of the tables. It's like, just help yourselves. Do you need anything else?
You are my hero.
Do you want any water with that? I wouldn't offer a whiskey.
Please. Lots and lots of water.
Yes, please.
Yeah. And he just he fills up a big old jug, comes over, puts it on the table, puts out some glasses for you all.
Oh, me head.
Morning, everyone.
I'm rubbing Juna's, giving her a slight massage on her shoulder.
Gwendolyn's looking a lot better put together, having had a decent night's sleep. She's looking neat and tidy, and she's kind of done her best to really look presentable. And she is just looking at them all with a kind of superior disapproval.
Iris, have you got any coffee?
It's a bit posh for us, love. Oh, very sorry.
Oh.
I got a couple of tea bags.
I'll have a tea.
Have a tea. I'll go get a pot boiling.
Yeah, thank you.
Tea bags have just blown my mind in the D&D sense.
I know, right?
What are these
Tea
things?
bags.
I mean, they're not heathens. Go on.
Only in a British D&D podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tea is very
Tavern
important.
Everyone's
keepers
got
with
their
a tea
Very
bag.
tea bag.
Tea.
None of that loose leaf nonsense.
As long as there's some milk, we're not having just lime with it or lemon with it or anything.
Yeah.
Gwendolyn, I have to apologize very quickly. Last night we were a little bit too loud in our investigation, and I said I called you doll-face, and I greatly apologize for that. That was very unfair of me to say. You have a beautiful face, but it does not need to be referred to as a doll face.
Thank you very much, Gaius. That's very kind of you to apologise, and very big of you to accept your mistake. So thank you.
No problem.
How did your investigations go? What did you discover?
All I remember is 2 people kissing and a nun.
Yeah, I think Juna got a little distracted.
Maybe like a nun kissing or something. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
all I can remember.
I don't know about any nuns kissing or nothing like that. But what we did find is we found some evidence of some magic in there. Looks like whoever has got rid of that brewery equipment hasn't done it through brute force alone. They've had some arcane assistance.
You're quite the detective, Orryn.
Thanks. Yeah.
Where did you sleep, by the way? We didn't see you come up.
Yeah. I've kept somewhere else. Is all right.
Enkidu just looks between the two of them and just, oh.
I mean, hey, I'm not one to judge. Fair play.
Yeah, it's all right. Didn't want to disturb you after I'd had another look around.
You are notoriously loud, to be fair. Oh, I got him to laugh. Thank God. That's my day done. Boom.
Enkidu, as stealthily as he can, slips a gold piece to Orryn.
For me to notice?
Make a slight
for you
hand
to
check.
notice. Oh, here we go. Here we go, baby. Here we go, baby. That is terrible. That's a 9.
That's a 9.
Yeah, I noticed.
It's noticeable
for him
enough
to
that
know.
like you slide it across, you take your hand back, everyone sees a gold piece on the table. Orryn maybe picks it up.
Enkidu, I think you've dropped some money, sweetheart, on the table.
I throw my hands on the air. No, I'm just compensating Orryn for something. And I kind of just like narrow my eyes at him threateningly, just like say nothing and accept it.
Okay, well, seeing that look, I will take it and just pop it in a pouch.
Has anybody got any plans for what to do today? I feel like I've got several things myself, but
We've got to go and see a doctor, haven't we, Enkidu and
Yeah.
Orryn? We've got to go see this doctor lady.
We've got to go and just deliver a message to someone.
But why don't we go to see Lady Vondel together?
Yeah.
Who's Lady Vondel?
Do you not remember from last night?
I remember a nun and people kissing. That's all I remember.
Right.
Right.
Oh, goodness. Oh, no. I definitely flirted with the barman.
Iris at that point comes over with like a few mugs and like another little pot of tea, and he goes, "Yes, you did there. Yep." And he just turns and walks away.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Juna looks like at the table, like boring a hole in it, like, oh my God.
Gwendolyn
He can
can't
hear
help
everything
but
in this
smile
place.
a little bit at the idea
gosh.
of Juna having a flirt with Iris.
Brilliant. Yeah, so we got quite a few leads. We've got the lady to go see. Tell her son's a not very nice person. So we go see the lady, we go see the doctor, and then we get a suss out from there. There's also this lead about this witch in the woods, which we might know a little bit about as well, Gwendolyn.
I would like to find the witch.
Yeah. I just sort of look over Enkidu and Juna and just sort of be like, I've still just got a feeling we might have already had a run-in with her.
Well, leaving supposition aside, should we have an order in which to investigate? Because it sounds like we all want to look at the same things.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I would quite like to visit. There's a shop somewhat like a pawn shop here that I would like to go and inquire about if Dwayne has gone through there. Iris,
Yeah.
do you recall you were telling me about that store last night?
Oh, the Plenty store. Yeah.
The Plenty store. Yes. Where is it where it is? Where is it? That's how I say the word.
It's in on Servelt Square next to the Assembly Hall.
Perfect. So we start at the square. You go to the chemist, I go to the Plenty store, and
Yeah, I'll go with you, Gwendolyn.
Yeah, so you all head out to after you finish breakfast, of course, and you've had your tea.
And our tea, yeah, very
I mean, you
important.
can't. I mean, why would you be
Important.
heading out without tea? Yeah, you head out, and probably about sort of 10 o'clock in the morning by this point. It's bustling quite a lot, actually. There is sort of the end of a farmer's market going on. Everyone's packing up stuff. Sort of a few stalls selling loads of stuff about the place. Around the edge of the town, of the square, are loads of shops, which especially now in daylight you can see a little bit better. There's your blacksmith, there's a cobbler, a bakery, a carpenter. And yeah, at one end of the square is a large town hall, and next to it, almost as if it's trying to compete, is the Plenty store. Asking around a little bit for Dr. Hardison Hograd's office, you're actually directed a little bit off the square. So you're split up. Those of you heading to Dr. Hograd's, when you reach there, it's quite a nice little building, a couple of floors, but the curtains are closed and the door isn't open. In fact, there's a little sign that says closed, just hanging in the doorway.
Does it look like it's just closed today, or does it look like closed?
Yeah.
Make an investigation check.
16.
16. So you walk around a little bit just to see if there are any windows that aren't covered in curtains. And there is one that the curtains aren't as fully drawn. Peeking inside, what you can see is just like sort of round toward the back of the building a little bit more. It seems to be almost like a surgery inside, or at least the room that you can see. But it looks like all of the drawers have been completely turned out in there. So like whilst there's a table in the center of the room, like that's fine. All around the edge, just about you can see like every single drawer and little cupboard has been opened and like hastily shut again.
Is the front door locked?
Yes.
Is there a back door or anything that we saw on the way around?
Yep. There's one that leads directly into the surgery.
Let's try and see if we can make our way inside without being too forceful. This looks alarming.
I agree. I think if we're going to let ourselves in, I suggest we use the less obvious door.
And between the two of us, we've got thieves' tools.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if you wanna make a thieves' tools check to try and pick the lock.
Who's doing it?
I'll go first, but you're probably
Go
going
for
to be
it.
better at doing it. What modifier? Oh gosh, what modifier?
So it's adding your proficiency.
And Dex?
Yeah, and Dex.
That's a 9.
A 9. No, you do try and sort of jimmy your little lockpick tools in and like twist it. It almost feels as if someone's like left the key in on the other side, so it's just making it a little bit trickier for you to do.
Can I, between me and the door, can I cast Mage Hand so it's on the other side of the door?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere that you can see, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
It's like 30 feet.
Ooh,
Yeah.
handy.
Yes.
I'll allow that.
So I'm going to cast Mage Hand with my clawed fingernail and try and see if I can twiddle whatever's in the lock that's blocking my entry.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, you try and angle your view just so you've got a slight better view of like the edge of the door through one of the little windows. You get your gradient hand with this little frill on, just like hooking into the end of a key that's you can just about get a glimpse of, like turn it. And Orryn, who stood at the door, you just hear a little click and it unlocks.
Oh, I open the door.
So yeah, you step into, for all intents and purposes, a surgery.
Okay.
Orryn very quickly notices that part of it is almost established as an alchemical workshop. There's a few vials and things set up as well in one corner. And there's a doorway leading off into other areas of the building, which if you like sort of poke your head through, it leads into a little corridor, really short, that on one side there's almost like a little consultation office. On the other side it's got a shop front. And then some stairs upstairs, which you assume goes to some sort of living quarters. Everything, though, is empty. Like, every shelf, every cupboard, it's as if someone has come through and just raided the whole place and taken everything. Or at least everything that looks useful.
I'm not sure
Can I
we're
have a-
delivering this letter today somehow.
No, I don't think they're in, are they?
No.
I have a very bad feeling about this.
Can I have a look at the alchemical stuff and see if I can figure out what Dr. Hograd was up to?
Yeah, make an intelligence check.
Can I assist him?
Yes, you can.
I'm still very curious about Orryn's abilities.
Give you advantage, Orryn.
Just plain intelligence?
Unless you've got alchemical tools proficiency.
I do.
In which case, you can add that as well.
17.
17, yeah. Essentially from like the little bits of spilt powders and like drops of alchemicalness, descriptive words. You get the sense that like it was all to do with healing. Everything that she was preparing in this, like, so it's loads of like potions of healing and burn salves and those kinds of things. That this is the station that she was working on to prepare those things to sell to other people, to give to her, to anyone that needs it. Even like the little shelving units around are almost specifically designed to hold little pots of ingredients, but they're all empty empty like some spillage on the table. It's clearly that someone has come through and taken this.
Right, okay.
Is there any like paper with her writing on? As a very left field suspicious question.
Yeah, you can go check in the office, and it's fairly easy to find. Actually, there are a few like notebooks and like people that she was seeing about certain things, sort of notes for her own records. They're all the same handwriting, so you assume that it's Dr. Hograd's.
I might rip out a page and just sling it in my pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you pull out one page. It seems to talk about somebody with gallows cough.
Can I look for like blood? Any signs of violence?
Yeah, absolutely. Make an investigation check.
That's a 5 minus a 1. So that's 4.
No, the place is in such a. Well, it's weird. It's not almost like it's not even in a mess. It's just everything has been stolen. Is the impression that you get. Like it's not even. You don't even get the impression that it was like she's hastily packed stuff up to go. Like it's been cleared out. And there's no way that one person could take all of. Like you keep finding empty cupboard after empty cupboard. All the shelves are just completely stripped. So
Juna's gonna sort of turn and be like, "K," and sort of walk back towards the way they came in to go back to the square to talk to someone.
Orryn, Enkidu, you
But just walks off.
going to follow or are you going to stay there?
Yeah. I'm going to, if I can, before you go. Can you give me 10 minutes before you alert anyone to the fact we're in here?
I can give you 10 minutes.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
Sorry, I took my tea away in this lovely in-world takeaway cup, so I'll just have a little rest outside and finish my cup of tea.
All right, I just hope that's made of recyclable materials. That's
It
all.
absolutely is. I trust Iris.
It's like some
Green-fingered.
little bamboo cup that he's...
Yeah.
Keep cup. If I've got 10 minutes, I'm gonna tune up my goggles of magical detection again, if I may. Go CSI on this.
Obviously, the alchemical components ping off a little bit, but interestingly, there's not a lot else magical. I say a lot else. There is nothing else magical in the building. There's no sign of the oil, if that's what you're looking for. There's no sign of that same thing around the doorways either.
Yeah, I was going to say, check the front door, check the back door.
Yeah, no.
Okay. And did we go upstairs? Anything upstairs that
You can have quick
seems of interest?
quick upstairs. Essentially, it's just a living space. So there's a little bed. There's sort of clothes. Interesting, a lot of her clothes are gone as well. Not all of them, but most of them are missing. The only thing really that's left upstairs are the more personal items, like a diary and sort of an old sketch of her with her family. Sort of
Can I
like
have a quick look at the
sentimental.
diary?
Yeah.
Just see if there's anything noticeable written in there in the last few entries.
Make an investigation check again. See if anything stands out to you.
Ooh, 22.
22. It's interesting. There's nothing that necessarily stands out. There is some discussion of worries of the gallows cough perhaps spreading to someone else, but she thinks she's got it under control. These are they're similar to the records that are downstairs, but just more like personal. So she's like, I'm a little bit worried about what's his face's broken leg. Like, I don't think it's going to heal as well as I was hoping. The only thing really that sort of pings out is the name Vondel, because you've obviously got like a recognition to it, and it's not actually in one of the later entries. As you skip back, and like this diary is fairly extensive, like possibly about a year beforehand, the name Vondel comes up. It just says there's a lot of building work going on over at the Vondel Manor, but then like every couple of entries, like it just keeps mentioning the building work's still going on, and I just think that it looks like a ruined mess. And then even a few months later, it's closer to present day. She's like, I still can't get over that I went and built that. It's just a broken tower. Ridiculous.
Just a broken tower?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's seen this diary then?
Orryn's looking through it, and Enkidu, you can go up there as well and look over his shoulder if you fancy.
Yeah, I'll tell Enkidu what I'm reading as I'm reading it.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, do you think we should probably just leave for now, just as we planned, not do anything different?
What, and not go looking for Dr. Holgrad?
I mean, we don't owe her anything. We don't know her. I mean, we showed up here willing to tell her what had happened to the poor fellow that we saw earlier, but she's not here. And we have nothing, no real clues to go looking for her. Coincidentally, Vondel shows up in our diary, but then who doesn't know her? She's a noble of this town, and we're going to see her anyway. Maybe things will realign and we'll find some kind of lead, but for now, let's not... Well, I don't want to speak for you, but I don't want to stretch myself out too thin.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I hear you. I reckon we just keep our ear to the ground where we're up. If we're going to the Vondels anyway, we just have a look, see what's going on up there anyway. We just keep our eyes open, yeah?
Yeah, that's precisely what I wished I said better.
So, over on the other side of town, Gaius and Gwendellyn, you head over to the Plenty store. The first impression that you get that this is almost like some jumble sale put inside a hall. Nothing seems to match what it's next to. You've got bits of rope next to pots and pans, next to books, next to just boxes. There's yarn, there's bits of spices, cured meat. It's ridiculous. And it's all just like shoved up and stacked wherever it can. Some very narrow shelving in the middle, and at a desk right near the door, this little old human, olive skin. She's noticeably short, sat on a little chair, wrinkled, weathered, probably sort of mid-60s. She's got massive spectacles on her face. She's like, hello.
Hello. What a breathtaking establishment you have here. I've never quite seen anything like it.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? It's nice. You looking for something particular, darling?
Oh, well, I'm looking for someone, actually. I don't suppose you've had any dealings with a Dwayne Fabulosa. He's a rather well-known bard.
I don't know. I don't know that. What's it look like?
A tall, elven fellow. Very charming, beautiful smile. Beautiful eyes as well.
He sounds lovely. Yeah,
he really is.
Yeah, I've not seen anyone with blue hair come through here.
No. Do you deal in anything like family heirlooms and perhaps giving money for them?
Oh, I'll buy and sell anything. You got something to sell?
Perhaps I will do. Actually, I am a little light in the purse, so perhaps I will need to come back and...
I don't mind whatever it is you got. Someone will want it elsewhere, so I don't mind taking nothing off your hands.
Look, my dear, do you know anything about a tiara?
Tiara? I got some jewellery boxes. You want some jewellery?
Yeah, we want to see your jewellery. We want to see all your jewellery. We want to see your tiaras especially.
Nice with your mask. I think I got some.
We're busy people. Hurry up.
She sort of like hops down from her chair.
She's like, all right, don't worry, come over here. Come on, can you come in?
We are very busy assorted lords and ladies. I will expect nothing but your finest, and I want to know all your dealings from the last 2 weeks of anybody who's been interested in a tiara. And I'll just whisper to...
She sort of leans around Gaius and is like, oh, he's very forceful, isn't he?
Yes, very, very direct, very
direct.
Thank you, Gaius.
I've heard of this thing, and I'll just whisper to Gwendellyn, just be like, I've heard of this thing where it's like good guard, bad guard. And you were being really lovely, so I thought like you had already assumed that role, so I thought, okay, I'll play the other role.
Right.
This little old lady, she wanders off. She's like, she comes back a little while later, and it's like a tiny little jewellery box that she comes back with. She's like, I got something. I don't know if it's not a tiara. But as she opens it up, it's just like some fairly straightforward little like bracelets and like little earrings and the fake pearl necklaces. But you can tell quite easily that they're not really pearl. Painted bits of stone.
I got some. Is this what you're wanting for the nice lady? Is it?
It's good to know that you have these things.
Yeah.
Do you see a lot of people come through here?
Quite a lot of people, yeah. A friend of mine not come in though today. He normally comes in every day, but he's not come in.
Oh, who's that?
Yeah, Chorus. You know Chorus?
No, I'm afraid we're new to town. What can you tell us about Chorus?
Oh, he's lovely. He's Chorus. He's one of them farmers. He is. He comes in every day, even when he's ill. I do worry for him. I worry because he's all alone out there on his farm.
So it's quite unusual for him not to come in and see you today.
Oh yeah.
Is his farm near the forest, perhaps?
Oh no, that's all out west. He's out east, so he's away from all the...
So you've had no one come in. We're very busy now. You've had no one come in and ask or buy or purchase a tiara.
No tiaras, darling, no.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Do you see many half-elves in here who know short hair, amber skin?
Not amber skin. We got a couple of more like walnutty like in town.
Oh right. Well, that's been super useful. As we said, we are very busy and important. We have many things to do. So if you don't know anything about the tiara, then we'll have to move on, I'm afraid. But thank you, Ms. Pine, for your time.
Oh no, that's no worries at all. If you need anything, you can come and have a look, though. All right?
Thank you.
If you see Chorus, you let him know that I was worried.
Absolutely, we certainly will.
All right.
We are too busy for that. Let us go.
Okay. Yes, we're too busy for that. We're going.
Oh well, I mean, young people, you do rush around. Enjoy the sunshine. Bye.
Oh yes, I think that's a rather good skill that you have, Guy. I really should try and learn something like that.
It worked to a certain extent. We really squeezed as much information out of her as possible, but did not lead to your husband. So
as you're having this conversation, fairly close as you're sort of stood outside the Plenty store on the edge of the square, fairly close near you comes a young 18-year-old looking boy, faunish skin, strawberry blonde curls. On the back of a white horse, and he's trotting along, and he catches sight of Gwendolyn, and he just suddenly trots over. You're new in town.
Why, yes, I am. Nice to meet you. My name is Gwendellyn. And yours?
Hi, I'm Trimpt Vondel.
Oh, Trimpt Vondel.
Yeah.
I've heard of the Vondels.
Oh, yeah. Gwendolyn, is there a surname to that beautiful first one?
Yes, it's Fabulosa.
Oh. Like the bard?
Yes, have you heard of him?
Well,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, he passed through, is a stepsister?
Wife, to be, really.
Oh, he didn't seem the sort to be married.
Hello there. Hi. How do you know this? How do you know Mr. Fabulosa?
He jumps down off of his horse and he strolls over. No speed at all about it. Ties his horse next to a little hitching post near you.
Wow, his hair is flawless.
Yeah, and he brushes it out of his face a little bit. He's like, we interviewed Dwight, was it?
Dwayne Fabulosa.
Yeah, we interviewed him for a permanent position up at the manor, but it just didn't really match our vibe, you know.
Oh.
But I'll be honest. Gwen, can I call you Gwen?
She looks really awkward and doesn't quite know what to do because he's really handsome. Yes, of course. Yes, you may.
This might be a bit forward, but I'm feeling a much more suitable vibe coming from you.
Suitable? That word really jars with her.
It's on. It's on.
You just seem more on my level. I don't know what it is.
I think everybody would be on your level, surely. I don't know what you mean, really.
I'm terribly sorry, but she is. I can read the subtext going on beneath those beautiful eyelashes of yours, and she is a married lady, or soon to be, or so on, and she is like out of bounds, so to say. What's the gib, guy? What's the gib?
I just thought I'd show my appreciation. I didn't mean any offence, my dear lady,
no,
at all.
Of course, no. I purely don't understand how you would think that I was more suitable than Dwayne, when Dwayne is quite clearly one of the most wonderful human beings. Well, not humans, elves.
I don't mean for entertainment.
Okay. So, do you know where Dwayne went?
I couldn't say, unfortunately. Yeah, and truly, if I knew how to ease this burden that you're feeling, I would do everything in my power to do so. But he spent an evening performing for us in the house, and then Mother broke the news to him, and he just went on his way, and I never saw him again. So,
sorry, you say your mother broke the news to him about what?
That we wouldn't be taking him on.
It's quite strange that he's auditioning for jobs when he told me he came to do something different. But maybe he just wants to make sure he can provide for me and give me the life I'm accustomed to.
Yeah.
What kind of life is that?
Well,
You do seem. I really don't mean to be so forward here, but you do seem slightly more educated than he was.
I'm struggling to be polite right now because I think you're being extremely rude about my beloved. If you would kindly refrain from speaking about him in such a way, I would appreciate that greatly. But I'm a very busy and important person, and I have things to do. And she winks at Gaius.
Hell yeah.
And I believe that we have to go speak to your mother. So if you would like to know more about me, then you will have to take me to your mother.
And furthermore, may I just say that you are a very rude young man to other ladies of this fair town, other ladies who are far of a higher standard than I can see before me. Good day, sir.
I love that. That Gwendolyn was like, take me to your mother, and you're like, we're leaving.
Perfect. Just perfect.
He sort of touches his hand to his heart. He's putting on a show of sincerity. He bows his head and he says, do not mean to offend in any way, and of course I will. I didn't mean to insult your husband. He was a fine performer. He was.
Thank
truly.
you. He is.
But of course, I am afraid I just don't know where he's gone. If I could possibly make it up to you,
well,
you're welcome to dinner at the house.
May I and my companions all come to dinner?
Companions?
My entourage. You obviously have noticed that I am a lady of quite some noble standing, and it would be quite ridiculous for me to come to dinner without my entourage, as I'm sure you would understand if you are a man of noble birth yourself.
Yes, understandably. I mean, I wouldn't wish anything, any untoward behaviours to be threatened. Even that would be awful.
Well, you can expect me and my entourage for dinner this evening. Good day to you, sir.
Oh, this evening.
Oh, when did you want to do dinner? I'm sorry. I should have asked you exactly when you wanted.
No. I thought
perhaps lunch. A lunch would work as well.
Perhaps a luncheon tomorrow.
A luncheon tomorrow. What's the problem with this evening?
Well, I wouldn't want to burden the cook with.
Oh yes.
Give her time to prepare. That's only fair for the staff.
Understand. Yes. Well, then luncheon tomorrow. With my entourage.
And how many will we be feeding?
There will be 5 of us in total. I hope that's okay.
5 of you, of course. Once again, I profusely apologise for any insult I may have had inflicted upon you. It was just quite a pleasure to see you from across the square.
You are welcome for the pleasure my visage has given your eyes.
Yes, I can say that I am very welcome to it.
Yes, and also my personal bard here will play for you and you will pay him, yes?
I'm sure that can be arranged, yes. Would you be interested in auditioning?
Yes, I'm so sorry for my harsh words before. I was clearly I was thinking about
something not at all.
Totally wrong. I got mistaken identity.
Very dedicated to your lady here, and completely understandable. Who wouldn't be dedicated to those eyes?
Oh, yeah, well, shucks, yeah, those eyes, eh? But no, yes, most definitely, I think an audition would be preferable, and furthermore, yes, and cute. I look at Gwendolyn. Help?
Yes. Well, you heard my bard, so good day. She's run out of words completely. She doesn't know what to say.
I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow, and I'll make sure Mother's there for the performance. He gives a very low, scraping bow, like sort of just looks at you directly in the eye, Gwendolyn, and just gives a cheeky, devilish smile, and then returns to his horse, swings one leg over, jumps straight the way on, hardly any issue at all, and just trots away. Juna, this is about when you catch up with the others.
Is there anyone else on the square for me to quiz?
Oh yeah, there's loads of people around.
Can I grab someone on the way?
Yeah.
Just
so probably on the route over, there's the cobbler, sort of young.
Yeah, I'll accost a cobbler.
Accost a cobbler. A young, sort of mid-30s woman, mousy blonde ponytail. As you walk over, like there is just a strong smell of leather from her entire little shop. Even though she's got the windows wide open, like she's sat out the front of it, like working away on a little stool. But as she walks over, she's like, "You're right. Can I help you with anything?"
Actually, it's funny that you ask because I've got a bit of a query.
Yeah, about your shoes. They look alright. I'll be honest. They don't look that warm.
My shoes are fine. I've got a question. Do you or did you know Dr. Hograd?
Do you know what? I've not seen Dr. Hograd in ages, actually.
How long?
I say ages. I mean, I've not been that ill, so I've not had to go. Why? Is something wrong with her?
Well, she's just not there, and we got a letter that we need to give her with some quite sad news in it, if I'm being honest.
Oh, what's the news?
Well, I'd rather tell her.
Oh, is it that bad?
It's not great news, let me tell you that. I can tell you that much.
Well, don't worry, because I can tell other people if you want to tell me, and then I'll tell others, and they can let her know if they know where she is.
Well, is there anyone around here that might know where she's gone?
I don't know. She's not that much of a social person. She doesn't come out drinking or nothing. Ooh,
does she know anyone in town particularly? Someone who's quite poorly quite a lot of the time.
Oh, there's a couple of people
quite
poorly.
Regularly.
Oh, Mia's mum. Mia's mum's a bit ill right now. She's got that gallows cough, doesn't she? Right, and it's horrible. I don't know.
What is this gallows cough that's going around?
Oh, it's not going. Well, I mean, it's not going around. It used to go around, but then it's sort of calmed down a lot.
What's gallows cough?
It's horrible. It's something to do with eating the wrong type of mushrooms, and then your throat gets all inflamed, and you get this little red band around it, and then you're coughing your guts up. Oh, it's horrible. Have you never had it? You not heard it? Where are you from?
I'm from Pryden.
Yeah, I've never been. Is it nice? I'll be honest, I've never really been outside of Tillersham. I do love Tillersham though, it's nice. You know, I learned my trade here, very good business. My dad taught it to me, but I've never been outside.
Well, I recommend Pryden for a first time adventure.
You know, it's funny because I see a lot of shoes, right? I see a lot of shoes being a cobbler and that, and lots of travellers come through, but I don't travel much myself. I really should travel more.
I think it's I love a bit of travelling, me.
Do you know what? I can tell that from your shoes. Yeah.
How amazing.
Yeah, do you know what?
What else can you tell from my
I
shoes?
can tell a lot of... Do you know what? I could probably tell... I'm fairly certain I'm a little bit... I don't want to say psychic, but I can tell what people's jobs are just on account of their footwear.
Go on, tell me what my job is.
Level 1 druid.
Now, from the looks of them, like, you've not been travelling all that much. Like, they look worn, but they don't look like on the road worn. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So what's my job?
So I think if you've just come from Pryden, right, I don't reckon you've been outside of Pryden that much. So I reckon you're working in some sort of... now, them nice boots as well. Those are nice, the way they've laced up and that. You work in a house, like a posh house.
Do you know what? You are spot on. Very impressive. Very impressive.
Thank you, yeah. My name's Jenny, by the way. Did I say? Jenny, hi. What's your name?
Jenny, it's nice to meet you. I'm Juna.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm
Juna and
It's
Jenny.
lovely to meet you. You are a very friendly young lady.
Are you new in town then? You new? I don't recognise you.
Oh, yeah, I came in yesterday. We've been staying over at the Nocking point.
Oh, you hear
Shame
what
about
happened?
their brewery, isn't it?
Did you hear last night as well? Happened the same, didn't it?
What happened? Where did it happen?
Woodman and Wolf. All their stuff's disappeared too.
Woodman and Wolf, did you say?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you should have seen Welton. He was having a go at the captain of the guard last night.
No.
Like, as soon as he noticed that it was all gone, he was like, what have you done? Where is it all gone? Like... And Captain was like, they was having this argument. I'll be honest, I live upstairs, and they was having this argument just right out on the street, so of course I heard it.
4 hours later. How are you shooting?
Gwendellyn and Gaius noticed Juna across the square and start waving frantically.
Gwen! Gaius! This is Jenny. Oh. Jenny from the block.
Oh, yeah. That's funny, because I'm from here, and I've got a block in front of me for the shoes. Yeah.
That's lovely to meet you, Jenny.
Hello.
Juna, we've got some rather exciting news.
Now, she's got nice shoes. I don't mean to butt in, but your shoes are very nice, madam.
Oh, thank you very much.
I tell you what, see if you can tell what these two do by looking at their shoes.
Juna,
she's great.
Yeah, okay, all right, let me try.
This.
Don't worry, just let me try.
Oh, right.
Now, I'll be honest, from your shoes, they are of a slight similar style to Juna's here, which would imply you're from a similar location.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay,
we are from the
lovely.
same area.
Now, they look like nice riding boots. Again, they don't look that well worn, so I would say that perhaps you are a posh lady.
Well, I don't know.
She is a posh lady.
She's a posh lady, yeah.
I
knew it. Not from just the way she talks and that, from her shoes. That's how I knew it. And this chap here...
What about him?
Obviously, he's got that big old loot on his back. I'm not going to take that into account. I'm going to look solely at his shoes, and I'm going to tell you that he is a performer.
Wow, you are psychic, my lady. So
Isn't
listen,
she
girls.
good? Isn't she good?
And I know he's wearing that mask, and you'd think that's what gives it away, but no, it's his shoes. This conversation's gotten distracted. Like, Orryn and Enkidu.
10 minutes.
10 minutes has passed. Yeah.
Orryn, Enkidu, come over here.
Yeah.
Do these two. Do these two.
Juna, we got a lot
Tell
of
them what they do.
I mean, this is fun. This is a fun game. And she looks at Enkidu's shoe. She goes, yeah. You're a soldier. Yep. And you lad, you are quite poor. Is that right?
That's not a job.
I know that's not a job. That's just judgmental, isn't it? Oh, I'm really sorry. They look well worn, them shoes, and they look like second, third hand. That's what I'm thinking.
They've seen a bit.
Them's not your shoes. They weren't made for you.
Yeah, maybe not.
Do you want a pair? I'll make you a pair.
No, I'm fine.
You sure? Nice new pair.
Yeah, they're comfy.
All right.
No.
I mean, I'll make them nice and comfy. Do you want me to buff those up?
No, I'm good.
Guys, just to let you all know, we've all got an invitation to the Vondel Manor tomorrow night for dinner.
Tomorrow, midday for luncheon.
Oh yeah, midday. Tomorrow midday for luncheon.
That's all.
So is this all your friends then?
Well, yeah, really. We're sort of a bit of a ragtag bunch that we all sort of met up in the tavern yesterday.
Classic. Meet in a tavern, yeah.
But we better be getting on. I tell you what, it was a gas speaking
You
to
do know.
Jenny.
It's so nice meeting new people.
But you can't tell us anyone who knows this doctor. We got a bit
like I was
sidetracked.
saying, like, you want to go speak to the guard, right? Their name is Mir.
Mir.
Yeah, because...
So Mir's mum is the one.
Yeah, it's their mum. That's...
And Mir's a guard.
Yeah, that's right. It's Kess Nellis is the mum. Yeah, and she's the one. She's got that gallows cough. It's not contagious, though. It's not contagious. It's just you eat the wrong stuff in it.
I was just about to ask. I don't fancy it.
No. As far as I know, it's not contagious.
And you get it from mushrooms.
Yeah, like there was this whole thing. There was like a whole plague of mushrooms years ago, and actually passed through quite a lot of the town. But a lot of people got over it pretty quickly. But then, for a few people, it just carries on affecting them. So,
How does it affect them?
like it's just like a rash around your neck, quite a sore throat, and you're just coughing constantly. That's what it is.
Oh my
Enkidu
goodness.
shares a look with Orryn.
Yeah.
You don't. These mushrooms aren't from the woods by any chance, are they?
I wouldn't know. I'll be honest. I was just a kid when it happened.
Come on, Juna. Let's.
Yeah. Let's go. Like,
And can I tell how old she is now?
Yeah, she's like mid-30s. So yeah, probably about 25 years ago, roughly, is what she's meaning.
Enkidu like kind of tugs on gently on Juna's arms. And let's.
Juna goes, but as she's going, she sort of continues having a conversation with Jenny.
Gwendolyn also helps kind of guide Juna as well, just like.
Well, it has been absolutely lovely chatting with you. I haven't
Juna,
had
quickly, we have things to do. Yes, we're very busy and important.
There's a slight issue for concern here. We were, and I tell them about the cave, the woman in the woods, and also the mushrooms that we found in the cave that attacked the living mushrooms that literally almost killed us.
You found a woman with mushrooms in a cage. In a cave.
In a cave. She wasn't keeping them in a cage.
On our way into town, this copper-haired woman, she sent us in a cave to find her wife's puppy. We nearly got bitten by a cockatrice. And this one over here, she points at Orryn, came away with a cockatrice egg. And then we went into this other part of the cave. And it was grown with mushrooms. We found an envelope. That's where we found it,
on a
wasn't
body
it?
in the cave with mushrooms.
We found this, which we're trying to deliver to the doctor who's now gone. Those mushrooms were octopusing all up our legs, weren't they?
Still got like a mark on my leg.
Nasty
Certainly sounds like it
things.
could be related, doesn't it?
I've got my suspicions, I'm not going to lie, that she's the witch.
No. She's the witch. I tell you something else that my friend Jenny was telling me. Did you hear? That other pub where we were, he's had his brewery nicked as well.
What?
You're kidding me.
I'm not even joking.
Had his brewery nicked?
My word. Well,
Yeah.
You sure? I thought he didn't brew.
Welton's
does
one.
he?
That's what Jenny said. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I'm
is
not
that's what
saying
Jenny
she's
said.
untrustworthy, but
That's what Jenny said.
it's
all I'm saying.
I mean, of course, I did arrange to go and have a meeting with Iselle and Sully, who were in the guard, but it sounds like you have somebody else to go and meet to do with the guard. Mia, was it?
Mia's mum.
So perhaps next port of call is going to speak to people involved with the guard.
I tell you what Jenny said,
Oh, no.
she reckons that she heard Welton arguing with the captain of the guard last night. Now, if I'd have been in a better state, I could confirm or deny that, but unfortunately, as we all know, I can remember the nuns and the kissing.
which didn't happen.
I want to find out where this Mir is.
So you're heading over to the guardhouse first?
Yeah, try and find out what's happened to Dr. Hograd as well, see if they know anything about that. While we're there, we can also see what we can find out about this brewery situation for our Iris.
So the guardhouse is, again, it's a fairly obvious spot. It's quite a big building, somewhere off of the square, and there is quite a bustle going on inside. You do very quickly see Iselle and Sully running backwards and forwards, bits of paperwork in and out of rooms, and like Iselle shoots you a little nod, Gwendolyn, but doesn't stop for tea. There's another guard at the door with a flushed chalk sort of expression, mid-20s, crew cut, strong jawline, cheekbones with a little bit of pockmarking, like probably from some teenage acne. They're sort of idly stood there at the door, have been positioned there. You get the impression that they'd much rather be in and amongst all of the running around, but somebody's got to stand on door duty in case any other trouble comes along. And seeing you approach, yo, how can I help you today?
we're looking for the guard that goes by the name of Mia.
Yep, that's me.
Oh.
Who are you?
Mir, we're here about your mum.
What's up with my mum?
I spoke to a very lovely lady called Jenny. She said that your mum had gallows cough.
I don't know you from anyone,
might
but
know where
I'll be
Dr.
honest, I
Hograd's gone.
wouldn't speak to Jenny if I were you. She talks a lot.
Why? What's wrong with Jenny?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with Jenny. She's very nice, but just a bit of a gossip is the thing. Has she said something about my mum? Is my mum alright?
I mean, she didn't say anything negative about your mum.
All right.
If anything, she was concerned.
Well, I mean, Jenny's a good girl, but she's not. She's just a bit chatty.
Noted, friend.
Oh, I didn't think that.
Really?
Yeah.
Average.
Do you have any crime to report or anything? Any trouble that I can help you with?
No, but we do. We've got a letter that we're trying to deliver to Dr. Hograd, and we can't find her. And Jenny said that your mum might know where she might have gone because she had this gallows cough. You see,
There's like a creeping worry that starts in Mir's eyes, and they look at you. They look around. They look back, and they just say, "I could take that letter for you."
What? Do you know where the doctor is?
And again, they've got this really worried expression.
Do they know where she is? Like,
hang on.
Yeah.
Like I kind of like put my hand
if anyone
on,
wants to, make an insight check.
Yeah, I'm doing
I would love to, please.
I would like to do that.
I'm gonna.
You can go first, though.
Oh, natural 20.
Ooh. Well, in which case, Enkidu, you know instantly that the guards know that the doctor is missing.
Mm-hmm.
And they are choosing to keep it a hush-hush. Like, you get that impression straight away. You're like, they know the doctor's missing. They're keeping it quiet to stop panic.
Okay. Are you also aware of the effect that certain mushrooms can have on the body to spread this gallows cough? Are you aware?
Of gallows cough? Yeah.
Because there is a cave not very far from here where we found an acquaintance of the doctor's dead body, completely infested with the things. And these mushrooms had come alive. Are you also aware that this is a possible end effect of this disease, which may be worse than the cough?
Are you sure that's to do with gallows cough? We've not had a new case of gallows cough in years. The doctor's been keeping on top of it, and as far as I know, it just kills you.
I see.
Unless you take medicine.
So your mum didn't have gallows cough?
My mum does have gallows cough, but the medicine is keeping it all at bay.
Which Dr. Hograd provides for your mum. Does Dr. Hograd have any family, do you know?
I assume out of town. She moved in about 30 years ago.
Oh, right, okay.
She's quite an old lady now, but she's never paired up with anyone here. But I assume she's come from somewhere and has some family.
But they don't come and visit or anything?
Not that I know of.
Oh, right, okay.
Are the five of you... I mean, do you often go into the Lockhold Wood?
No, we were passing through.
Well,
Why?
We
Why?
travelled through. It took us about, 5 days to travel through?
You spent 5 days in the wood?
4 or 5 days? Yes.
I mean, you're braver than I am.
It's certainly,
You must be very brave. You're a guard.
I mean, I'm a
You
guard
look
in a
brave.
small town. Like, this is the most amount of excitement there's been. All of the booze going missing, like, that's...
yes, it's strange. It's happened in 2 places now.
I mean, I can't comment on investigations.
Oh, no, of course. No. Don't worry. We wouldn't tell a soul.
Thanks. Yeah, just Dr. Hograd was supplying Mum with medicine. And we don't have a lot left, so if the doctor isn't in their office, which you seem to know about, then I'm worried I'm not going to get more of it.
Maybe you should investigate that.
We are.
They just said that. My friend, given the Lockhart Wood is so close by, whose duty is it to protect the citizens from the dangers of that wood?
In hushed tones, not quite wanting to make it too loud in amongst all the other guards. They just lean in and say, "We kind of leave the woods to the witch. It's easier that way."
Oh.
I see. And then Enkidu's eyes just kind of turn cold, and he's like, right. He's added the witch to his list.
Do you know the witch?
No, but...
Do you know what she looks like? Do you know what she does?
I've heard of some of what she does. And I'll be honest, like I say, you're braver than I am, so if ever you're out that way and you find her, it'd be mighty good of you if you could ask her for some help.
Do you think she'd give us some help?
Okay, well, why don't we go see this witch and, let's not get anything rash or anything, but let's just ask her, hey, have you seen anything about this brewery? Have you seen anything about these mushrooms?
Oh, I didn't mean about that. I meant about medicine.
Yeah, the medicine. Have you seen this issue with the medicine? Can you sort us out? She knows magic. She could sort us out if we ask nicely.
If you could get some medicine for my mother, I will just pay you 20 gold pieces per bottle.
What medicine does she need, just out of interest?
I don't really know the name of it, but it's sort of a bluish colour and it smells a lot like berries.
Blueberry juice.
I mean, not just blueberry juice. We've tried just eating berries. That doesn't.
Well, that sounds like we could do that, gang. We could do that.
If you're able to get anything that will help, that would be wonderful. They return to their sort of post at the door. You all step outside. Where will you be heading next?
Into the woods?
Into the woods.
I want to buy a shield before we leave.
Yeah, that's quite easily done. As you are moving out towards the Lockholt Wood, you do just quickly pass through Servelt Square. There's a blacksmith there. He's banging away. As blacksmiths do. Yeah. What's his name?
Yeah.
Mirth. Yeah. Half elf, short black hair, big old strong build. So he's got a couple of shields already ready to go. I don't know how much they are. So 5 gold pieces for a shield.
Sure.
Lightweight and durable. Exactly. Just slap it on one arm. It's just one of those wooden bucklers. Circular thing, bit of metal around the edge, but it's mostly like the end of a barrel.
Yeah. I move it around just to get some flow. Cool.
Yeah, you all sort of head out of town, ready to face the Lockholt Wood, and that's where we'll leave the episode. Into the woods.
You have been listening to David Knight as your Dungeon Master, Ben Galpin as Orryn, Chris Watts as Gaius, Darrel Bailey as Enkidu, Grace Kelly Miller as Gwendellyn, and Vicky Gaskin as Juna. Original music by David Knight.